Good evening and welcome to Fireside Cast coverage of RGL 6's Season 18 playoffs. Tonight we have the main grand finals for you. PERUTECH.TF versus China Live, with PERUTECH having a one-map advantage coming from the upper bracket in a best-of-5. Tonight I'm joined by Giblert on co-commentary and got siyo on production. I know you don't know like everybody here, but is there anybody in particular, or how comfortable, or I guess knowledgeable are you about these teams in Maine?
I mean, yeah, I'm more or less. A lot of these players I've played with before, at least seen them in pugs and scrims, that kind of thing. Of course, we got a couple people, if you're looking on the side of China Live. I'd say about like half these people, like 3 or 4 of them, were at the recent RGL LAN. So that's, ended up winning the open bracket. So got that LAN experience under the belt, a little bit of extra practice. On the other side, of course, no Tansum. It's been the up and comer in the scene. Of course, Math has been around a bit. And you mentioned to me earlier, old John Soldier here, South American player who played for a little bit a couple seasons ago, but recently made a comeback. Of course, Les has also been around for quite a bit.
Yeah, and speaking of those rosters, I guess we'll start with the PERUTECH roster. On PERUTECH, we have Joaquin on Pocket Scout, Tansum on Flank Scout, Math on Pocket Soldier, John is on Roamer, Gonzo is on Demo, and Alice is on Medic.
Yep, and on the side of China, we got Khalil on Scout, as well as on the Medical Man, we got 3Y. Then on Flank Scout, we have Aiden. On Pocket Soldier, we have Cut. On Roamer, we have Khalil, a Cudex. Okay, that's how you spell that. Cudex. And then Fortis on Pocket Scout, and then Fuzz on Demolition.
Yeah, definitely. At least for me, I've definitely seen a lot of these players, a lot, especially in maybe like the past couple of years. So it's good to see that they're moving up and getting to the higher getting to the higher levels, and main grand finals is definitely that's pretty much preparation for advanced. So you're definitely starting to get up there. Besides that, I mean, most of these players are, from what I know, pretty much. I think Fuzzy's the only like real Highlander player, but she still has like plenty of sixes experience, so I don't think there's anything like crazy there from what I know. But besides that, if we see off classes, I have a feeling there's going to be some sniping on the PERUTECH side. I don't know. I think maybe China Live also has like either Khalil or Fortis will go sniper, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I guess we'll have to see what they feel comfortable with, because I think a lot of people on both teams can snipe potentially. So there's a few different options for who's going to snipe, if that happens, of course.
Yep, and of course, we've got a couple people with the classic South American ping. Expect some, if either of those decide to go sniper, expect some interesting hit reg, so who knows what'll happen there.
Yeah, it always looks a little wacky. Speaking of the matchup tonight, we have let's just go over the maps really quickly. Because PERUTECH is coming in with that upper bracket advantage, they come from the upper bracket. They have a one map advantage, so this is a best of 5 with them having a one map advantage. So, China Live need to win 3 maps, and PERUTECH only need to win 2. And there's only going to be maximum 4 maps played tonight. First map is going to be Process. Map 2 is going to be, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Map 2 is going to be Bagel. Map 3 is going to be, let's see, it's going to be Sunshine if we need it, and Metalworks is going to be map 4. And in terms of previous matchups, in week 3A, China Live lost to PERUTECH 4-1 on Bagel, which is interesting because China Live picked Bagel, which is really interesting, but I guess they feel comfortable in it now. And in the upper bracket finals, this was a 2-1 game where PERUTECH lost on Bagel. Okay, I guess that makes more sense now. But then PERUTECH won on Metalworks and Process.
Yeah, so I guess, do you have any kind of predictions for these teams?
Good question. I mean, so It's really interesting to say because like a lot of these players have like good DM, and I know also Khalil, excuse me, is a scout player. So normally, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him do some things that you might expect normally on scout, just because you know that's what you might be comfortable with. But besides that, like I mean, on paper, these teams seem pretty even to me. Like, I don't really see any huge standouts on either side. Like, maybe I'd say Joaquin for PeruTech, and maybe Cutix for China Live, but you know, it definitely could be anybody who steps up tonight, or it could be a very even match. But I wouldn't be surprised if we go through all four maps and then have PeruTech win it on Metalworks. But yeah, I think this map I am gonna have to give to. I think I'm gonna give this to PeruTech 4-2 on this map. But I don't know if I don't feel confident about that at all. Like it could go either way.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, if you're looking at the records that from when these teams have played earlier in the season, of course, you have PERUTECH winning the first matchup 4-1. They met again in playoffs, where I believe went to map 3, where of course PERUTECH won again, are coming into this undefeated, by the way. But like I said, that time China was able to, take a map from them, make it competitive. So yeah, I mean, it's been trending towards the matchup getting closer each time. So who knows what we could have here for this grand finals.
Yeah, I'm really curious, especially because excuse me, China Live's only loss this season has been to PeruTech, who has gone undefeated. So this is one seed versus 2 seed, and this is who you would expect in grand finals. And I think this is probably who we were going to expect in this match, because just how strong the teams seem to be, at least. But we are going live on map 1 of Process here.
And who are you keeping your eye on this mid?
I want to see what Fuzzy's up to because I haven't seen her play in a while, so I'm curious if she's going to be doing anything in particular or whatever. But she actually takes a lot of early damage, has to get bowed pretty quickly by Theory. Theory does take a bit of early damage too. Health is definitely favoring the side of PeruTech here. There's a bit of a confrontation on this left side. Aiden gets killed by Gonzo. Both soldiers are going to end up bombing, but Cutix gets the kill onto John, and it's a 5v3, excuse me, in favor of China Live, and that's going to cause PeruTech to back up, and Aiden is capping, and the rest of China Live is continuing forward.
If I like the aggression, continuing to push the pace. Alas, has to be very careful not to get caught here. Joaquin and the other scout retreating back to last. Wise move there, giving that one up without losing anything else. So at least going to be able to hold on to last, maybe stalemate it out here. We'll see what they're able to do. Yeah, what I saw in that mid, it felt like just kind of like the aggression came kind of one by one. It didn't really feel like it was all synced up very well. So just kind of like, ducks in a row, one after another, for the red team to clean up there. So China with a chance to get on the board here.
Yeah, Khalil and John taking a bit of a 1v1 in this rollout doorway, but they are just both going to go back up and go to their medic and spawn door to lick their wounds. Of course, China Live has decided to take a bunch of space in lobby, trying to just get anything off of that space. John is going back aggressive in that rollout door, but China Live rotated back out in time. Cutix is there to make sure that's locked down. And I think China Live is just deciding what they want to do. I'm surprised they haven't gone for anything yet. It looks like they're looking for the gun, and they're maybe going to spam that down, but I'm not 100% sure. Because it's taken them a while to figure out what they want to do, or at least decide what they're going to do. Right now, Cutix is finally spamming down the gun a bit, but they're not really doing anything. They're sort of just sitting here, which is, you don't want to sit here forever. You do want to eventually do something, even if it is just like sacking someone to switch them onto like sniper or spy or just anything. And you don't want to just sit here forever. Take those opportunities.
Yeah, you're right. I'm really not sure what they're doing here. It's taking so long to sack. It's been almost a minute and a half, but just no one's died, just nothing's happened. And finally, looks like Fuzz is going to go down. She looks like she might have got sniped and then hit with a rocket follow-up. So, yeah, I mean, it's like almost half a minute, or half the reset timer burned without any even real attempt to sack now. So that's potentially big missed opportunities here on side of China.
Yeah, and one thing that could have happened there is Fuzzy could have held the door open for one of her scouts or soldiers to switch onto Sniper or Spy, because I expect Sniper, to be honest. I'm just feeling it tonight. Like, I feel like we're going to see more Sniper. But Math hits a nice headshot onto Fortis, or Joaquim hits a nice headshot onto Fortis, and Math cleans that kill up. Fuzzy takes a bit of damage, but is going to back up. Kudex does get John, who's trying to go for a counter-sec attempt there. And Khalil's already pressuring from that 2-door, trying to get that early spam onto the gun. But Fuzzy is going to get headshot by Joaquim. That's not good for China Live. They only have a minute and a half pretty much to break this hold. And Gonzo is already looking for some pipes. And here comes a bomb in from Maf. He's not going to get anything, but there is a lot of damage on the side of China Live. They're just going to have to wait here, especially because they're down Fuzzy. And it looks like, yeah, John is off class checking. Yeah, he's off class checking right now.
I mean, just those 2 deaths on the demo man there for PERUTECH has already burned about, or on side of China Live, it's already burned about like a minute and a half off the clock by itself. So, again, lots of missed opportunities, and already down to only a minute left on the round time run. They're just going to trade out of nowhere. But they do manage to get a sniper, but no use on side of Les in the blue team. Heavy does come out, so this is going to be a very difficult push. And yeah, it doesn't look like anything's going to happen with China Live here. You gotta be a little bit careful. Kudex gonna jump out. You gotta live a refight here, but no scouts now on the side of China Live, so pretty much no way they can lose or they can win this. As yeah, all retreating very weak here. So yeah, that's just a very odd sequence right there. I don't know. What do you make of that?
I don't know. It's like I feel like China Live is like. I feel like there's a comms issue going on right now, honestly. Like, because they just seem so disorganized. I'm not sure. Like, that should not have taken that long to go for like the single basically sack attempt they went for, and you know, PERUTECH were just able to do so much with that opportunity. They do have at least a 30% Ubra, which they probably will be using shortly. There was a player down, but that player is respawning and is already here. So we'll see if China Live is able to play around that. Actually, I don't think they realize this is that big of an Ubra. Yeah, they don't realize this, because otherwise, or at least PERUTECH, I mean, neither team does, because, you know, nobody's really playing it. There's a bit of an IT shove here from the side of China Live, not able to get anything, so they're just going to back up, and they're going to probably try something else. Math pretty aggressive over here in this left side, could potentially get caught. A little bit risky, but he is just going to back out there. Khalil did re-push into IT and trades with John, so that's a 5v5 there, which allows Aiden to do a nice little flank push into lobby. He's taking a little bit of a 1v1 with Tansum, who is going to go into lobby, and Math is going to join him taking that 1v2, and there goes Aiden going down. And that's going to spell China Live just backing up, trying to hold this down, but PERUTECH is going to try to pressure.
They do have kind of a, you know, basically a double sack is what that turns into. Joaquin kind of stick it off. Soldier Math actually really clutched there, shooting the sticks out of the way so Joaquin could get out cleanly. So nice little clutch sticky clearing by Math right there.
Yeah, it just turns back into a stalemate. This time we finally we have Aiden on Sniper. I'm a little surprised, but I guess that is probably, I mean, anybody on any of these teams could honestly go Sniper. So Aiden is in that choke. Aiden is normally also a scout main. I did forget to mention that. Or Aiden's a demo main, excuse me, on scout. He gets the headshot onto Gonzo, which is a huge pick. That's going to make it a lot harder for them to lock it down. Math gets very low, is going to have to back up, did a little bit of delaying, but Fuzzy's just holding this door open for Aiden for a long time to just take so many shots. And China Live is taking so much space off the fact that everyone on PERUTECH has to back up. Fuzzy gets dropped and there's an Uber exchange. That's not going to be as ideal for China Live. John does get reflashed. A lot of low players on both sides. John gets a kill onto Aiden, and that's probably going to spell the retreat of China Live.
Khalil also going to go down, able to at least get the trade, but not much they can do to hold here. Yeah, I just think, like I said, dropping the demo there, I mean, not a whole lot good was going to happen after that. And it kind of felt like they had too many players just way too close to the combo there that, you know, even if they hadn't dropped the demo there, would have really had to flash a lot there, and I don't think it would have been a great trade regardless for the side of China Live.
Yeah, and we already see Math doing a little bit of sticky clearing, trying to pressure, and there is an attempt from PERUTECH. They try to walk through, but they just back up. They have it's an even Uber situation, excuse me, but we do have John, who has switched onto Sniper for PERUTECH. No Sniper here for China Live, but we'll see how they intend to deal with the sniper because you know, PERUTECH just elected to take that exchange, which is definitely something you can use, but you have to be careful to not lose too many players, you know, during the exchange or anything like that. But it can definitely be a good way to like nullify the sniper by just, you know, not having to worry about getting headshot because you're invincible. Right now, both teams just kind of chilling, taking some passive shots from, or PERUTECH is taking passive shots with the John on sniper. And there's just a bit of high bombing going on from Khalil, trying to get maybe a little bit of an potential cheeky kill onto the sniper. Yep, the soldiers can keep rotating these bombs over, trying to get a kill onto the sniper. But PERUTECH pretty passive. They're just letting John take shots at choke.
I mean, there's such a good sideline for sniper, like compared to most 5 CP seconds. That I mean, if they don't put some pressure on the sniper, put some pressure on the flank, do something, the sniper is eventually going to hit a shot, and it's going to spell disaster for China Live. So I would like to see here that if they're not going to like really just get on the sniper aggressively, and I do like the lock load spam here, pressuring John back, making it hard for John to take a shot here. But the other thing I'd like to see this team do alternatively is just really buff up their flank, let their flank take a fight while the combo's kind of rotated with the sniper. And now finally does get some good spam on a choke there. Khalil and Fuzz team up to take down Joaquin and John. And that's going to be a big opportunity now for China Live.
Yeah, they're already going to just be pushing in off that 2-player ad, and PERUTECH is just going to back their way out to second. And it looks like, yeah, excuse me, Gonzo is going to get caught, I would assume. Oh my goodness, there is no... He actually got out of that. I don't know how he got out of that, but that's insane. Gonna go back to an even situation on second here, but... you know, there on that previous second, that was just, there was a headshot that was hit by the side of PERUTECH, and then they just all chased too much into choke off that. There's some IT pressure here, and Context is just in on Alice for free. No scouts with Alice. Alice is doing a fantastic job dodging, and is gonna go survive the bomb from Context, but that was some really weird stuff. Like the scouts on PERUTECH were just distracted. Theory is gonna miss his surf and is gonna get forced. John did also go in and is gonna go down. But with Codex being dead, this is going to be a little bit awkward for China Live.
Yeah, and it just felt like there was no real extra pressure from China Live there. It was just a single soldier sack. And if there's any pressure at all, Les probably would have had to use there, but just a total lack of pressure made it easy for Les to do some nice jukes there. And then, yeah, now got to be very careful with Zubra. Already losing Aiden. I'd be very sketchy about losing another one here. And kind of like setting up the chain feed unless they have a really good sack opportunity, and doesn't look like they will. So this is just going to be kind of just the 1x1x1, just not willing to give that for free and set up on second. And now really not going to have like a great opportunity to really do any sort of sack on a second. So I expect PERUTECH to be able to take this point pretty easily.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to potentially go fast with that Uberab, but they just decided against it. They stopped the point, denied any of the spawners, made sure they were able to get in cleanly with the player ad, and China Live did not want anything or any part of that. And now it's an even Uber situation back on the other side, this time on China Live's last, and it's on PERUTECH to try to break this hold. Right now, already some aggressive soldier bombs. Math goes in, gets nothing. John is going to go down as well. That's 2 dead. That's going to allow a lot of space for the side of China Live. There's no soldiers here. This should definitely give you some space, but you do have to be careful, of course, because you can't just bomb directly into scouts. Tansem gets caught out by Khalil. Does not account for that IT shove, and that's going to allow China Live to walk all the way in, and PERUTECH has to back out. It was well played by Khalil, and that's going to allow China Live to get back to second, which is definitely a little bit easier, or at least just like a second barrier, or like an alternative, like a backup, basically. You know, like if you lose second, you can go back to last, but that also means you don't have an NG, and you're going to have to deal with a sniper again. This time it's Tansem on sniper, so we'll see if that changes like how the side of PERUTECH play, like maybe just getting more aggressive with their sniper, or just using some soldier fate bombs to try to distract. I'm curious what they'll do.
Yeah, I feel like these teams, both teams, especially maybe even more so in Chen. Oh, as I say that, never mind. Tansem, nice headshot. Yeah, look at that shot to Aiden, and gonna make so much more space having one less person. But as I say that, Math going down, just too many people clumped up in choke, and good synchronized damage from the bomb along with Fuzz. Yeah, look at that pick and kind of slow down some of that aggression.
Yeah, that was really interesting. Math just sort of tried to like counter jump Khalil's jump on choke and then landed on sticky. So on the other door that Fuzzy had just already set up, so it just did not matter at all. I'm surprised there's not more pressure with the player down, but I guess they are a little bit concerned about that sniper. Math's going to respawn, and the side of PERUTECH is going to work their way into sewer here, and they're peeking aggressively with Tansum. Here comes that bomb from Khalil, just trying to get any sort of pressure, trying to make sure that the sniper isn't able to just take shots for free, because eventually that sniper will hit something. Sniper gets very low, and Kutix is able to get the kill onto Tansum. That's huge for the side of China Live, and they should be able to pressure off that maybe for some sort of counter sack. But it looks like they don't feel very comfortable. As I say that, never mind. Oh my goodness, Khalil went in and just got absolutely demolished by Math.
Yeah, put that one in the vid. Math gonna counter, not gonna get anything on his bomb. So yeah, I mean, I feel like both teams are just playing. It feels like very just passive gameplay in general. Like I don't feel like either team's playing super confident right now. Maybe I mean it is grand finals. It's map one, got a long night ahead. Maybe just taking a little bit of time to feel things out, play a little bit safe. Maybe aren't feeling quite warmed up yet. We'll see how it develops over time. But I would like to see these teams just be a little bit more confident. It doesn't feel like, and as I say that, oh, we have a pause, so we don't know what'll happen here. So Khalil lands the first rocket onto a less. Up against the wall, I imagine this is going to be a force, if not a drop. But I guess we'll see when we unpause.
It was a really interesting situation there, because there was no soldiers alive on the side of PERUTECH, and then China Live was like looking for bomb opportunities, which just felt so awkward to me. But they did manage to somehow get Khalil in on this bomb, and it looks like he's going to get that force, we would assume. Besides that, there's nothing huge to note. Kutix is still in that IT. He went back for a pack, so he'll be there in a few seconds. Besides that, there's nothing crazy to note. Although I guess besides besides Alice, who is low because of that first rocket, the health definitely does favor PERUTECH, just because most of their players are healthy, as opposed to a lot of low players on China Live. But if you just get the force, the rest of your team could just back up. So don't know if it's going to be that important. But Gonzo is also standing on a sticky, so I wonder if that's going to do any or be any cause for concern, especially because the stickies behind him could launch him forward potentially, which could be scary. You don't want to let yourself get caught. But yeah, there was also only like a minute and a half left in the round or so, so you know, I'm assuming there's going to be a cap though because of that Uber force, but I'm curious to see what'll happen.
Yep, and Uber does end up getting forced. We are sliding around on my screen. I will be retrying briefly, but nonetheless, yeah. Oh, Alas actually surfs the pipe out to safety, so nice. Being able to get out there and make sure to reposition to a safe spot, but on side of China Live, Plinko a little bit split right now, and just all sorts of individual fights happening everywhere. In theory, Y with a nice arrow into Joaquin, so really good punishment by China Live off that force. Kind of getting those isolated players. It did feel a little bit split up there, but nonetheless, they did win their fights individually. And now it's going to be momentum shifting back their way. Ubers are about even, but I mean, you know, they do have mid now, which is great if you're China Live. And Fuzz blows up Math right there. So that's big window, going to make a lot of spaces. They kind of just plow through, and rest of PERUTECH not really in position to contest this. So I think wisely retreating. I think they've been maybe a little bit more ready. Maybe could have still made it a fight, but yeah, once they started plowing through the destroyers, it was going to be very difficult to hold on to anything.
Yeah, Fuzzy already got the gun, and Khalil was able to get in from the 5 door. There's a 3-person sack from the side of China Live. They are going to lose 2, and they are going to get the force. But actually, PERUTECH got force, but China Live got force later. There is a rebomb from John, but it doesn't matter because they just had that Uber and they just capped, and that was the end of the round right there. It's 1-0 in favor of China Live. And I did forget we're going to be seeing probably some more, I would assume at least 1 or 2 more bow kills from Theory, because he does love going for those bows on enemies. But yeah, it was interesting. Very slow first round. I wonder if things will speed up or anything, but we're going into this second mid fight.
Yeah, and I just feel like the positioning is a little bit too passive. They just gave way too much space, not able to get to that block on the point. But only 1 round in the books now. Still a lot of game left to play.
Yeah, I guess it is Grand Finals, but you can't like completely change how you play because it is Grand Finals. Aiden does walk really aggressively and actually distracts a lot for his soldiers. The kills are going to somehow, though, favor the side of PERUTECH. Alice barely living in a 4v3 means China Live has to retreat, and PERUTECH will safely be able to heal everybody up and capture this point. And I would assume they're going to try to pressure for something while they have that extra player as soon as they get this capture point. But yeah, actually... John goes quickly in. There's a lot of stickies there. We'll see if anything materializes out of this, but the spawners for China Live get there. So I don't know if PERUTECH is really going to do anything until they get all their spawners, they heal up, and then they're going to try to go for something out as soon.
Yeah, both teams maybe been a little bit slow to sack so far, that I've seen. So we'll see what they're able to plan here. Again, maybe just kind of talking over where they want to get their best sack going. But hey, this is the Banny config era, so don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah, importantly to note though, there is still 13 minutes until that continuous overtime. An aggressive bomb in here from Choke, from Maf, and then John does another bomb in. Gets a nice rocket onto Theory, but Theory does get launched straight up and is able to survive. Gonzo did get the trade kill into Aiden, so it's just going to be a 5-on-5. Theory's pretty low, just going to heal up his team. No other counter-sack attempts going to be made. Actually, Maf is still looking to pressure, gets a full buff, and is trying to go for something, draw some sort of distraction, but China Live actually just has all of their eyes on Choke right now. They're barely even looking at IT. Like, Cuttix is, like, occasionally watching it. And I don't know if PERUTECH realizes this, or if they're going to keep, doing all these bombs into the sticky traps that Fuzzy just has set on these doors, intending to destroy these soldiers who land on these doors.
Yeah, again, like that 5-on-5 situation there, I would like to see PERUTECH send a sack. I mean, it does favor the attacking game. Then again, it does look like they've come up with Tansom on Sniper, so maybe that's their plan all along. Just wanted to play the Sniper. So, Tansom, very good hit scan player, so I expect he's going to be able to make something happen here.
Yeah, he's already peeking aggressively from that sewer side. He does take a shot, doesn't get anything from there, and China Live definitely knows about that sniper. Cuttix going pretty aggressively. There is a headshot, I believe, but Cuttix does get the kill onto Tansom. A little bit left by his lonesome, I would have said. And so China Live is just going to be able to start pressuring already, and PERUTECH has to back up. Here comes a bomb in from, Khalil. He isn't able to get anything, but he does get a lot of damage onto the side of PERUTECH, but China Live does not want to press that too much further, and looks like there's maybe, no, I was going to say a potential 1v1 in, Maf goes in for an aggressive bomb on that off time. He tries to get something, but Theory-wise safely backs up, and it's now that player ad for the side of China Live, but probably only going to be like a counter-sack attempt, and, here comes that counter-sack attempt. Cuttix goes in, gets absolutely zero damage onto Alice, and with Cuttix dying super late, this might be pretty tough for them to hold and deal with the inevitable sniper peek from the side of PERUTECH.
Yeah, when it's even numbers, it's fine, but then once you're already down one and dealing with the sniper, it gets very difficult to really, apply the pressure you need to keep the sniper in check. So it can end up, bleeding very quickly if they're not careful and aren't able to equal out this pick. Have managed to survive quite well, though. The sniper at Maf hasn't been able to hit a shot, and Aiden gonna get that kill onto John, and Tansom also can go down to Khalil. Nice bomb, follow up there. So the script is flipped, and Maf still stuck on sniper. It's gonna make it very difficult to trade here. I would definitely just consider leaving. And yeah, we have a bit of a bleed, and looks like Gonzo will be able to jump out in time. But yeah, I would have liked to see them just kind of back up, set up on the next point, and then might have been in a better position there. Does look like they are fortunate to get the spawns in time, though, so aren't in too bad of a position here, as we got some more pressure from China Live here.
Yeah, and China Live does have a player ad for now, because, Tansom is respawning, although, as I say that, John quickly gets a kill onto the soldier Khalil in IT, and here comes that attempted counter pressure, the counter sack from the side of PERUTECH. Don't think they really see anything too big. Maf goes in for a nice bomb, hits a lot of damage onto Theory, but Theory does live with only 22 HP, so nothing there, and it's just going to turn into players respawning, and I would assume China Live trying to go for something now. They do have Khalil back now, and they have a few seconds while there's only a 6v5, so now is the time for them to go for something. Here comes that bomb from Cuttix. He is going to go in. He does delay his rockets a lot, and also with the assistance from Khalil, who also goes in, they do get the force, losing 2 soldiers for it. They are going to stay a little bit aggressive though. Fuzzy finally does back up. But it looks like PERUTECH is kind of scared. No, they are just going to eventually force out the side of China Live. But China Live is probably going to get their soldier spawners and push back into mid here shortly with that 80% Uber, though that is dwindling. So the longer and longer you take, the less and less Uber that is. Looks like they're already planning on going to IT.
Yeah, I think that was a really good move to back off when they didn't have soldiers. They do spot John pretty good, but they end up using it quite early, actually. It does hit a rocket, forcing out the Uber onto the scout, so not going to be the most valuable Uber, but at the very least, they do get the midpoint, so I imagine they're willing to at least play that leapfrog game a little bit. And I would like to see them continue pressuring here. I mean, they still have a bit of a dry window for about the next 10-15 seconds. And fake call from the med here, LS trying to get them back off, and so far, looks like rest of China Live respecting.
Yeah, they're not going to back up because they know it is Uber Dishag. Got to play back by, a safe door, so you can't just get caught by their inevitable Uber. Here comes an early bomb in from Math. Already kind of low, means he's going to have to back up quickly. Might mean it's a little bit tough for PERUTECH, but as I say that, China Live didn't really go for anything, although Fuzzy does get a trap kill onto Joaquim, and here comes the bomb from Kudux onto Alice. Very nice surf landing onto the crate. Fortis did get a kill onto John as well, so that's a 5-on-4, but China Live doesn't have Uber yet, so I don't know if they feel comfortable taking this, but... Aiden is in. Yeah, on the back lines, but he gets nothing.
Clear with a follow-up, lands a rocket, Aless does end up forcing into hits the direct, and the pressure from the follow-up spam is enough to get the force there, so that's going to be large ad. Oh, Bagonzo with a knife and spine 2009-like play, bombing in for the force. And that's going to be 2 down, but they do have a little bit of positioning here, PERUTECH does. But no demo man to really hold this. I'm kind of questioning if this is a good idea. And it looks like they will back off, and Math maybe getting caught here in IT and gonna go down. So, I mean, I respect the initial play, and really kind of crazy Gonzo spawn lived there, but I think a little bit sticking around too long there now. Kind of what we're seeing from both teams, just kind of the bleeding, individual players one at a time, overstaying their welcome in quite a few of these situations.
It was really interesting because, I think the plan from PERUTECH was to try there on second was they were trying to support Tansen, who was behind in lobby, but China Live just said, okay, we're bringing everybody back to deal with you. They did take a lot of damage in that that upper lobby doorway, but with their spawners and the fact that PERUTECH spawners weren't there, they just took their time, chilled, and PERUTECH did have to give that up. So we're now back onto second here. It is still 1-0 with 6 minutes, 20 seconds left. Here comes the bomb from Khalil in on the medic, gets 0 damage here. The soldiers get absolutely denied. Fortis goes down as well. Math with a nice air shot onto Kudux at the end. And that's 3 down for the side of China Live. They're going to have to retreat. They're all just going to run out through that IT doorway. And with 3 down, yeah, John is already going in very aggressive, trying to cut off the exit. He does go into lobby, but Fuzzy didn't realize she does manage to back out. Aiden is going to try to run in at John, but Fuzzy is going to go down, getting caught off by John there. There is a trade kill, another trade kill, Kudux and Math trading out, and it's now a 4-on-4 here on this second area, and Aiden is coming in from the side, so they may try to refight this, and they are going to try to refight this. Here comes Cleo with a nice bomb, but he does get air piped quickly, and he's going to go down. Fortis does get a trade kill onto Joaquin. It's now 3-on-3.
Do have the Uber in play, and the Uber comes out first on the side of red on China Live, and it's going to be quite a bit better on side of blue for PERUTECH. Fortis probably getting caught here by the rest of the Uber. Aiden also in still, trying to maybe get a trade kill on the med, but that's going to be 2 scouts down, and that's going to be very scary if you're on the side of China Live. No, off class to set up, no scouts to deny, no cleanup at the moment. So this is a big opportunity, and it's just the trickle one by one as PERUTECH rolling over into last and tying it up now.
Yeah, Alice with a really nice milk there on second. That was just able to buy so much time. And then both those scouts, maybe losing 1 scout, I think you could have maybe held that. But losing both scouts means, those soldiers are just going to be absolute pests. They can just bomb around, be such a nuisance. And that's going to allow PERUTECH to easily take that point. And we're into the third mid here. I haven't seen anything too crazy. Looks like both teams want to be pretty passive. John goes pretty aggressive, actually, as I say that this mid, and he is going to go down right at the end, and that's a one-player ad for China Live already. Looks like they're going to take their time. Here's an aggressive bomb from Math, trying to get behind and get something. No picks come of it, though. Fortis gets that kill, and that's 2 soldiers down for the side of PERUTECH. They're already out, and Khalil is already in the IT doorway. It looked like Fortis was in there too, but they decided to just back out and rotate over to sewer. Khalil is behind. He's in lobby. PERUTECH do know about it, but they're not really getting much out of it. They're just having a lot of pressure happening. Here comes an aggressive bomb from Khalil. He gets the kill onto Tansum and a lot of damage onto PERUTECH, and they're just going to have to back up off this. John did go in as well. He's going to go down. Math does go in, gets a trade kill onto Cudex, but he's going to go down. 4v3. But I think things are finally going to stabilize here, but China Live definitely wants to pressure right now while there's only 3 left alive. Definitely can hold on these doors.
Still no off glass at the moment. As I say that, Tansum coming up heavy, but the Force comes out. Scout eats a pipe on the way out, avoiding that last lock and load, able to live, and that's going to be absolutely huge. Just really great pressure by China Live. Doing much better than we saw earlier in the match, I think. Really just kind of taking advantage of those smaller windows. So yeah, just really good momentum there, rolling that into last, getting that force, and now with a chance to go ahead up 2-1 here if they're able to nail this last push.
Yeah, and we're already getting China Live in onto last year. They only have a 40% ad, so they don't have a huge amount of time, and they do have a heavy spawn from Aiden, as I don't know if you mentioned that, but Tansum's gun is going to quickly go down. No cap time because that Uber stayed for a while. They do have the heavy, which is going to help this, but Cudex gets that early pick onto John. Khalil gets a pick onto Tansum. Joaquin gets a pick onto Khalil, but Cudex is going to get another pick. Aiden on the Pudis is just going to be too much of a presence. He is finally going to go down. No, he's not, and just in the nick of time, excuse me, PERUTECH get Uber, but then Aiden eats the sandwich on point!
He stepped off too! The sandwich! Oh my, what a genius, that was genius. Genius play by Aiden. Clutch sandwich. I mean, wow. What a heavy play. We love to see it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful who you focus there, and especially because they, like, PERUTECH were in such an awkward situation because they had no players left alive. So, that can just make it super impossible for, just one player to get, multiple kills by yourself on last. It can be really difficult, even if you are an Ubered scout. Health slightly favoring China Live here. Here comes a bomb from Khalil. Is going to go down. There's a bit of a trade over there, and the demo Gonzo did go down as well. John does go behind and get the kill onto Theory, and now it's just Aiden getting that kill onto Alice. It's Aiden versus Joaquin here, and John is going to come in to help with that 2v1. Aiden does get the kill onto Joaquin, but John does clean it up with a nice little taunt to signify that he won that mid for his team, and that's going to be a 1 mid for PERUTECH, but multiple spawners on the side of China Live got up pretty quickly, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to refight this. It looks like they're considering it.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see the refight here. Only the one soldier also very slow to cap, so those look like we're, Cudex with a nice kill on the Math, and that's actually going to maybe stifle that aggression. So this look like they're maybe considering kind of poking around at this choke, but yeah, they are going to give that up to China Live. Even though John able to technically win the mid, the real mid win's going to go to China Live, I suppose.
Yeah, because PERUTECH never really even capped, so especially like in the log, it's going to say that China Live won that mid, even though, John was the last one alive because he never capped. Going into that second pressure situation here, there's a 10% Uber ad on the side of China Live, but I don't think they're going to know about that, and I really doubt they'll do anything off of it. They're just going to wait until they get Uber. Now both teams have Uber, and we're going to see some pressure from the side of China Live. Already pressuring from sewer. Cudex at choke, trying to get something there. Khalil is at IT by himself. He's going for a little bit of a pressure onto John. John doesn't realize until the last second, does take a lot of damage and has to back up. And Fortis actually, with some assisting pressure, gets the kill onto John. Aiden runs in, does get destroyed by Math. A bomb from Cudex trying to go in and get anything, but he's going to go down. Lots of low players on the side of PERUTECH. But Math is going to go back in through choke, and I don't think China Live realized it. Oh my goodness, nice pipe from Fuzzy saving Khalil's life. But there's 2 scouts on Fuzzy. Fuzzy's very low, is going to go down, and there's an aggressive Uber exchange, I would assume. But Theory Y has milked this a long time. Khalil is still without ammo. He's been running around without ammo with his pickaxe out for 15 seconds. But him going down with even though he went down with that insanely long Uber milk, that's going to mean it's a 4v4 fight. Although, as I say, that 4 just goes down, and that's going to mean China Live has to back up. Cuttix is going to get caught in here and is going to go down.
Yeah, really kind of chaotic situation there, and very unfortunate for poor Khalil, just not able to find an ammo pack anywhere. And still down a soldier and down a scout, so I don't really think they can fight. There's no Uber to trade. Spawn times aren't looking great. I think it's very wise for China Live to back up here. Got to be a little bit careful. Did have someone in forward spawn briefly. Looks like they have back spawn now, so it looks like, you know, just based on how the position looks like, China Live might even think it's disad, so they're playing like really passively at the moment. They have the sentry gun going up, which will still come in handy once these Ubers even out, and I don't think PERUTECH's really going to do anything with this.
Yeah, PERUTECH has got to be assuming it's even, and something important to note, actually, before we say that, Math does go in for a bomb while the sentry is being rebuilt, and Theory is going to get forced. Both the soldiers do go down for the side of PERUTECH, which is going to spell, China Live trying to get some aggression. But right now it's just Cuttix alone on second. Finally, the rest of his team is going to show up, but Cuttix goes down. That's going to really hurt. Khalil might be a little bit caught here in the IT area. I think he's going to get saved by Aiden and is going to back up, but that Uber ad from the side of PERUTECH, really nicely timed on that sentry move forward, is going to allow them to push off this Uber ad. And it is important to note, it is continuous overtime, so first team to 3 rounds wins map 1.
Yeah, I don't really like how they waited so long. I feel like they could have at least kind of got buffs, started spotting earlier, since they had that soldier down. So maybe a bit of an opportunity wasted there. Nonetheless, ours still have quite a big Uber advantage here. Ford is coming out this right side, and I like the point pressure here by the scouts. Good cleanup on Aiden, but still got this heavy to deal with. They need really good focus fire to take him down. Ford is going down very low, but Ford is... Oh, and then Fuzz hits John with a nice pipe there.
Yeah, and it's still Gonzo alive, does hit a sticky onto Cuttix. I think that's going to secure Alice's life. Fuzzy is going to get the kill onto Gonzo, but Joaquin spawning is going to save Alice's life and assure that it isn't going to be too big of an Uber disab. They do have, excuse me, is that... yes, that is Tansum. He's not in forwards on Sniper. He's just on Sniper. There is a 40% Uber ad and a player ad here, especially with that demo being dead, so that should spell the push in here from China Live, but I don't know if they know about this Sniper yet. Looks like they're peeking. Here comes those aggressive soldiers. Still don't know if they know about that Sniper. Yeah, they definitely did not know. Theory does not know, and he gets headshot! Oh no, Tansum does go down eventually to Cuttix, but Cuttix goes down. Aggressive bomb from Cleo gets a lot of damage onto a scout, but isn't going to get any kill there, and China Live is going to try to retake this, but they actually decide, you know what, we're trying to go all in on this medic here, and now it's just 2 scouts trying to go in by themselves, but they're going in, you know, trying to, like, salvage, but they go in very separately. Fortis actually just decided to leave, and that's going to mean PERUTECH is in a really big advantage here. They're probably going to retake second pretty cleanly and then be pushing on to last with their Uber head.
Yeah, really good protection by the side of PERUTECH, really just good grouping up. Countering that sack wave, playing around the med, not getting too aggressive. And it felt like kind of the sack wave from China Live maybe is a little bit still kind of disconnected a bit. Kind of just a 1x1x1 instead of it really feeling like all in, all at once. So anyway, that's going to be another opportunity for PERUTECH to tie it up right here, as it looks like they're going 1 this time. Inside China Live, able to kite back, have that sentry on the far side, but it's going to go down very fast with the spam. But still traps on point, not able to pressure it, and finally gets blasted off. Now it's time for the second recollapse if they want to win this last push. Joaquin stepping on the point, the heavy's just gonna destroy everybody else. Uber does come out at the very least for PERUTECH, so we'll have a little bit of Uber ad if Gons was able to spawn or to build it up here. Fortis on the chase, but it looks like he will just settle for recapping the second. So yeah, I mean, I like the point pressure. I just think I want to see from PERUTECH more on the recollapse on the second, after they get the, you know, disrupt the positions of China Live, really get aggressive together.
Yeah, and they actually get their spawners in fast enough that Aiden is going to get caught in here, but the rest of China Live is going to go down. That's a player down for the side of China Live, and that's going to prompt PERUTECH to try to pressure. They still have to recap the point, but that's going to be quickly done. And they have a 30% Uber ad. They're going to quickly take a bunch of space in 5. That's going to be huge for them. Fortis gets a ton of damage onto Math early, but Gonzo just had a sticky trap there. What? And Cleo gets the kill onto Tansum. And now it's going to be an aggressive push in here from PERUTECH. They do get the aggressive Uber. They kill Fuzzy early. That's not good for China Live. Cuttix very low is going to go down eventually. Khalil doing a lot of stalling here. And actually, it might work potentially. John does come in from the backlines, though, and now it's just John and Gonzo alive, and Aiden is not able to get there in time, and we're up to 2-2. Last round for map 1.
Yeah, really clutch rockets by John there. Les was actually getting pretty close to Uber at like kind of the 91, 92%. So getting that med kill, that rocket right there, definitely securing that round. So good stuff by John on that last push. So now, we are in continuous overtime. So next round wins map 1. Could go either way at this point.
Yeah, 3 mids have been won by China Live. Only 1 has been won by PERUTECH, so we'll see if that spells any potential setups here for this mid. Khalil actually gets a kill onto Gonzo spawn, and a bunch of kills trading, but it's 4 versus 4 now, with Demo dead and Aiden getting that kill onto John, juggling him, or levitating him, and then also cleaning up Alice, and getting the kill onto Math. Huge 4K from Aiden, and it's just going to be Joaquin, and he's already got to back his way out to his own last, probably get that sentry gun up in time, but this is a big advantage for China Live, and they're going to want to take this in and get that, get that last round and get the first map.
Yeah, really clean med, just good protection on the med there onto Theory Y. So yeah, I mean, it really comes down, are they able to secure this last push? Are they going to follow the fundamentals, get everyone buffed up, make sure you use on the side of the gun, take down the gun early point pressure, recollapse as a team, recap the point, we'll see what happens here. So, are taking a little bit of their time here. I'd really like to see them move a little bit faster. No real spotting here, and they're going to use on kind of the wrong side, and because that demo is going to get jugged pretty high. Look, it does have that lock and load, it's able to take down that gun pretty fast nonetheless, but no point time. All these sticks all over the point, and it's looking like a very, kind of 50-50 fight right now. They do have the positioning in heaven, but now we got the Tansom coming up on the heavy, and he's kind of just mauling them one by one. As I say that, good focus fire to take him down. And then now Fuzz trying to cap it up. It's a really scrappy fight, back and forth. A little bit of MG, and the Uber comes out from the less. Such a long fight. And then looks like Theory Y maybe gonna sneak his way out here. Khalil buying as much time as possible, trying to get that trade onto Les. It's still chaos. Another one feeding in, trying to get that last little bit of cap, but it's not gonna be enough. Wow, that was really scrappy fight, really close, almost in favor of China Live. I think if they maybe had to just a little bit cleaner Uber, maybe using on side of the center gun, so they didn't get juggled and kind of stall the momentum there. Could have been a win. And map on the side of China Live, but nonetheless, it'll now be still another 50% Uber advantage. Still chance to win this for China Live.
Yeah, they're already going to be pressuring. They do have that. It's only a 40% Uber advantage now. They are going to push in. Gonzo going down early, and they use very aggressively. It looks like Alice might get caught. Alice at 10 HP. Aiden does get that final kill. That's 3 down. John is caught on second. This looks absolutely dreadful for PERUTECH. It's now only 2 players left alive on the side of PERUTECH. Joaquin does get a nice headshot onto Khalil, but that's just not going to be enough. Too many players alive for China Live, and they are going to take map 1 3-2, evening up the score, and now both teams need to win 2 maps to win this series.
Yep, and this is kind of the last series went the best of 3. It was China Live winning the first map, but then PERUTECH did end up coming back on the next 2 maps, and won, I believe, 1-3 and then 1-4, or 3-1 and then 4-1 to kind of reverse sweep that series. So we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, got to be a big confidence booster for China Live though. To I believe this is a PERUTECH map pick, wasn't it?
It was the PERUTECH map pick, and we're going into Bagel, which was the China Live map picking. And last time, China Live 4-0'd PERUTECH in the upper bracket finals. They 4-0'd PERUTECH on Bagel, so I wonder if that's maybe going to spell a little bit of worry here for PERUTECH. They got to be careful. You don't want to, let the momentum train kind of just keep going, or else you might get a little caught up. You don't want to let them, start just continuing to win. You gotta make sure you take back this game if you're PERUTECH, but China Live definitely want to keep that going.
Let's take a look at these logs right here. What do we have? Anything interesting? Let me take a look.
I mean, I took a look. It looks like there wasn't anything crazy. I mean, it seemed like both Joaquin and Aiden played really well, but other than that, like I didn't see anything like particularly crazy. I mean, yeah, very few med deaths, which is good to see. Only 7 med deaths total. across a 37-minute game, which is not that bad, especially considering one of them was just a headshot drop when they didn't know the sniper was there. But damage did favor PERUTECH by a little bit, still losing, but it's pretty close to that. That's not completely unreasonable. I don't see anything else. I don't know if you see anything though.
Yeah, not really. I mean, a pretty kind of communist game right here. Everybody, getting a pretty even amount of heals, especially on China Live. Oh, look at that heal spread: 24%, 22%, 21%, 18%. Really living up to the name. So, but yeah, aside from that, not really seeing anything too crazy from the log. It looks like some people had a pretty good game, some people had a somewhat below average, but not really exceptionally bad game. Just kind of a pretty close match across the board. And I mean, of course, also represented in the final score for the map, that being 3-2. So, all makes sense, more or less. And I think also like pretty low mid dust, also kind of showing that it was a pretty slow match for about the first 15 minutes. After that, it really picked up. Like I said, it felt like teams were playing maybe just a little bit, a little bit scared since it's grand finals, perhaps. Just felt like really slow to get in positions for the sacks and that kind of thing. Not willing to really get pressure too hard or anything. But then kind of saw like later as it kind of swung more and more aggressive, and maybe in some situations maybe a little bit too much. But I'd at least as a viewer, I'd much rather see that than the other way around.
Yeah, the only other thing I maybe noticed is that it looked like Theory Y had a decent amount more healing. Looks like like 4,500 more health than the other med, with only one fewer death. So that could definitely be a factor, but it's not like it's a huge thing. And he also did have a drop, so it's not like the meds were crazy different. Although Gonzo did have 30% heals on demo, which is definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is a completely different map, especially with like I said, Gonzo getting getting tanked a lot more, getting really used to being tanked. Kind of really interested to see how they can play it on Bagel, since this is a map where naturally the demo just kind of has to take a bunch of damage. So looks like a little bit slow to get added up to this next map. So yep, yep. So I think we're going to go to a short music break while we're waiting for these teams to get ready again, and we'll be back shortly.
faded away from yesterday. Reconstructed what I knew. Questioned who I was on Thursday. Need to get out of the blue. I still don't know where I'm going, but I have some room to breathe. I hope that soon I will be glowing. I know that I've been here before. I'm cold, but it's warm.
And we're back. We're going to be starting up map 2 here shortly, which is Bagel. Again, PERUTECH came in with that upper bracket advantage. So currently it's 1-1 because of that upper bracket advantage. So first team to win 2 more maps to get to the 3 total maps wins the main 6 of season 18. For now, we're just getting a little bit set up, but we'll probably be going live very shortly here. Of course, I'm joined by Giblert as well, and we've got Siyo on production if you missed that. And game 1 was pretty slow and then sped up. Do you think we're gonna have like a lot faster pace of a game here on the second map because it's Bagel? Like, there's not any more. You can't just like sit around and permanently, stalemate or whatever. You kind of have to do something.
Yep, and I absolutely, like I said, I mean, it is Bagel at the end of the day. If you decide to do that, then I guess you just kind of lose. So, and also, like you said earlier, that kind of the end of that map, like the second half, definitely did accelerate quite a bit. So I expect to see more fast-paced gameplay here.
Yeah, we're already going into this first mid here. It looks like Gonzo took a bit of early damage, but besides that, nothing huge has really happened. No team has really wanted to do something for now. I guess it is technically possible that the teams could take a long time to cap the point, but once that first point is captured, then there's going to be something going on. There's an aggressive right house shove here from the side of China Live. They do get the kill onto Mav, and Khalil is in onto Alice, getting a lot of damage. Alice is just left alone, and Khalil gets that kill onto Alice. Cudex gets a kill onto John. Khalil does go down, but that 4 versus 3 for the side of China Live is going to be really good. It looks like Cudex might go down. He barely lives at 3 HP. And China Live did cap the point, which means the spawners are going to be there first for the side of PERUTECH, and they're going to try to fight off that. But since China Live has heals, they should be able to hold this, I would assume. And it's going to be on PERUTECH to try to get some sort of sack going here shortly, I would assume.
A lot of advantage here, and yep, here comes the sack wave. Bomb coming in, but Med kind of kiting backwards into the house, really safe here. So yeah, not really, doesn't even get a single kill. So, also kind of backfires for PERUTECH, as now it's going to allow China Live easy chance to get a forward hold up here. That's a really underrated thing. That if it's very clear that you're not going to get the Med and the Force on sack wave, just trying to refocus to at least get some sort of kills that way you don't get forward here. Definitely a difference maker. And, being able to forward here, also going to burn here, looks like probably at least another, 30 seconds off the clock. And still, looks like PERUTECH struggling to get out here. As you said earlier, China Live did 4-0 PERUTECH previously on this map, so... Oh, and wow, some nice rockets by Cudex in the house here. It's going to go down eventually, and that's going to be both Khalil and Cudex down, long spawns as well. So not the trades they want on China Live. Got to be very careful. John behind. Fortis does spot him. Oh, some nice rockets by John. John living a long time here. Aiden just juking, jiving, trying to stay alive, delay the point a little bit. Luckily able to stay alive. Good movement there by Aiden. And now it's kind of an even situation here.
Yeah, but China Live is up over a minute, on minute 20 in that timer. And here comes that aggressive Uber exchange that we might expect. They get a lot of damage onto Gonzo. They do get the kill, and Aiden also got a kill into Math on the other side in that right house. This is going to be huge for China Live, and yeah, PERUTECH has to back up. China Live recap it already. John is ready to do a bomb from the left side here before this gets a kill into Tansum. Khalil is chasing. Alice, I think, is going to be out safely, but over a minute 15 second time advantage there for China Live. It looked like Fuzzy had a bit of miscoordination there with whether a team was holding point, but then China Live was just so much more ready to fight. John did come out, try to get a kill onto Fuzzy, does go down, but Cudex and Fuzzy then eventually go down. Khalil does get the trade kill into Tansum, so it's 4v4. Khalil is still in behind as well, trying to do a little bit dancing around on these packs, but 3Y gets really low. He's going to have to back up, get his own pack, and that's going to let, PERUTECH recap the point. but they're down 1:45 with Khalil still behind.
Yeah. I do like PERUTECH's aggression there, just, be willing to stay in the fight, trade those kills back and forth, because ultimately, what you want on Koth, so. Well played fight by PERUTECH for the most part there. But yeah, like you said, also, a lot of time to make up here.
And we're going to see a bit more of a fight here. 2 kills in favor of Tansom. Very nice double kill there, and that's going to cause China Live to have to retreat. Fuzzy very low is going to get saved, but Forbes does go down to save Fuzzy's life, and that's going to mean that, PERUTECH is going to be able to set up a strong forward hold here, I would assume, and that is exactly what they're doing. And Gonzo has time to set up all of the necessary stickies, which is going to make this a lot more difficult to pressure through, but China Live is ready to bust through. They have Fuzzy already doing the sticky clearing, Khalil with a nice speed shot to get through that doorway. Got it barely Liz, but PERUTECH really backed up quickly. They kind of gave this up really easily.
Yeah, I think it's okay to kind of back up at the point, just willing to take the trade. Does look like he's gonna be about 50-50 right now. We got some action happening in the houses. It looks like China Live gonna come out on top of that fight, and Math trying to clean it up. Players getting a little bit low. Khalil with a chase onto a Les. Les gonna sneak out through that house door, but yeah, just again, attacking team able to trade. Oh, and then Khalil takes down a Les. The chase all the way through house. I have no idea how he got through 2 or 3 players to get onto a Les there and live that long, get 2 or 3 rockets off. Unbelievable. And that's going to be...
Like, he just went to the left side for free.
And then this is going to be Uber advantage. Doesn't have the Uber yet on the side of China Live, but as long as they can keep Theory alive, about 10 more seconds to get that Uber, this round should be, pretty much secured on the side of China Live, barring a disaster.
Yeah, it looks like actually a big kill from Math onto Theory Y, and they cap the point. That is huge for the side of China Live. Now they can play around their heels. They do have to be careful for that all-in, which might happen from the side of China Live because they do have all their players up. They actually recap. PERUTECH was a little bit passive, so now it's going to go to overtime, but Tansom does get 2 kills on that left house there. That's going to force China Live back. And, PERUTECH does have a nice strong Uber advantage, and with those 3 kills, they're going to set up a forward hold again. This is going to be a lot tougher than we might have thought for China Live, because that advantage is pretty much gone now, because China Live has to break this forward hold, and they have to deal with the Uber, which is going to be getting here shortly, and if PERUTECH is going to be getting shortly. And if they don't get this force quickly, this could be disastrous for the side of China Live, as they already busted the left door.
Yeah, and, Uber does come out, but not going to catch a whole lot aside from Khalil. But as long as, China Live can kind of refight from this right here, they do have a chance to still win this round. And they catch Math by himself in the house, just all 5 people plowing through the house, able to get that kill. And that's going to be really, really bad for PERUTECH. Being down 1 soldier here on defense is not what you want, especially since Theory Y has the Uber. Aiden does go down, though. He's got some kills traded back and forth before the Uber comes out. And, not really going anywhere with this Uber. Finally, the reclaps onto Tansom, but they kind of just stood in place while Invincible just standing on the point, and now it looks really bad as PERUTECH able to counter-wipe them. That's going to be round 1, a huge comeback by PERUTECH right there. Yeah, I just don't really like what China Live did with that Uber there. I feel like if they had just been more aggressive with it, just, got in their faces, made sure they used it in a decent position, made sure not to drop players, then, as long as they get like 1 or 2 kills, they already have Math down for a while. That would have been pretty much guaranteed a round in favor, but they kind of just froze in the middle, didn't do anything with the Uber after it got popped out. And then, yeah, great comeback by PERUTECH.
And even if they just, I know they had to, deal with the point and stop that, but they just had, they kind of just stood there with their Uber. They didn't really do anything, so it was just very awkward from the side of China Live, but we're going to the second mid here. Again, Gonzo going to take some early damage, but it's not going to really mean anything. Already Fuzzy getting some early cap time. Khalil does get low on the right side house, but is going to back up with a quick pack. Math and Khalil just taking a bit of 1v1 fights. Aiden gets very low thanks to the pipe of Gonzo, is going to back up. Fuzzy does pipe Alice, who's going to have to back up. But PERUTECH did cap the point, but with Alice having to back up, this might allow, it is going to allow China Live to take the point quickly. There's a bit of a 2 versus 1 fight happening here. Fortis does come in and gets that kill. Alice gets a bow cross map, is going to clean that up, and now it's a 5 versus 5 with both teams having Uber.
Yeah, and sometimes actually pretty close on both sides. It just looked like the Uber's just gonna come out. Unless letting Gonzo go down a little bit low there, so does have to be very careful for this post fight. And Uber's gonna kind of just stay right up next against each other, ending in a really weird spot in the house. And unless kind of no man's land, gonna go down there. But health is so bad on both sides. Anything can happen in this fight. Joaquin taking down Cutex, able to get the pack though. And it looks like actually Joaquin is gonna be the last one alive as everybody on China Live down to about 50 health, but actually most of them are able to live, waiting for their spawners, and now, yeah, really close round so far. Of course, luckily for PERUTECH, we're able to get that kill on the Theory Y, so not gonna be a disad, just gonna be another dry fight pretty much.
Yeah, and even though Alice spawned first because he had nobody to heal, and China Live were smart and they didn't cap too early, it's pretty much even Ubers, although Khalil does go down early. Fuzzy gonna get a little bit off to the side, but John with a very awkward bomb is just gonna get kind of deleted by Fortis, and now it's a 5 versus 5. Theory actually pretty low. He's gonna have to back up. Fuzzy low as well with a nice pipe onto Joaquin though. That's gonna be 2 down from the side of PERUTECH. And since PERUTECH does have the point, they're probably going to have to back up. Although, as I say, that Gonzo gets a quick kill with his stickies onto Aiden, as there's still some more pressure happening here. John is still respawning here. Tanzum is trying to hold off that point. Fortis does get a kill onto Tanzum and does cap, which is... does mean he denied Aiden from spawning quickly, but you're going to expect the point on this map to trade hands a lot because it's big.
Yep, Aiden also got pretty lucky. Only got 2 seconds extended, so not too bad. So yeah, kind of just even situation right now. And I expect on side PERUTECH maybe exchange soon, but maybe don't need to. They're kind of just getting a lot of point time, so maybe able to force China Live. As I was gonna say that, Joaquin gets lock and loaded by Fuzz. And that's gonna be very big pick, and unless also down really low, so rest of PERUTECH able to get the point, but kind of scattering, and then also a couple people dying on the back end here.
Yeah, and here comes John through that left house. Nobody was watching it, but Theory with a very nice surf and very aware of that. Knowing when your soldier is not watching that house is very important on meta. And the Uber does come out from the side of PERUTECH, but it gets absolutely nothing. In fact, it's even worse. Tanzum gets caught out from Khalil and Aiden, and that's going to mean that China Live is going to be very happy with that. They're going to retake the point and have an Uber ad. And with one player down, I think it's going to be a little tough, but... for PERUTECH, but as I say that, they try to go for the all-in, but again, Theory-wise, just very safely tucked away. Very awkward, attempt at an all-in sack from PERUTECH. They just seem like they're not, spotting where Theory is playing, and then they're, still continuing to go in awkwardly. It's a little bit awkward, but that's gonna, be a little difficult for, or it's not gonna even up, excuse me, because China Live has that Uber ad, and they're able to set up that forward hold, even though they're down a few seconds.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be another very close round right now. Time almost even right now. It looks like the Ubers are about to even out. And looks like actually PERUTECH able to get through this bottom right for kind of really easily here. So, yeah, going to be another kind of even situation. We've got a little trade going on with Khalil going down. So, overall, a good trade for PERUTECH. We'll have the reinforcements sooner as they begin edging away this cap. Getting a lot of point time as well. Got to watch over Cutex, though. Cutex behind. Aless doesn't see, and Force comes out. And then Theory Y gonna be able to kite out pretty far. Everyone, Fuzz went down and all that. Cutex went down. Khalil's still dead, but able to hold on to the Uber, the important thing. And Aiden winning a nice little 1v1 with Tanzum there, turning the tables very much in favor of China Live now.
Yeah, Map is in this right house, but is gonna get caught by Khalil. Khalil was on a 5k earlier before he went down, but now it's just gonna be a bit of a pause, but. This definitely is still favoring China Live. They have an 80% Uber ad. There's still 2 players dead on the side of PERUTECH. And, PERUTECH doesn't even have a good opportunity to go for that 4-man sack, which is common. But also their 4-man sacks have looked so poor. They haven't gotten... I don't think they got a single kill on any of their 4-man sacks so far on Bagel, which is something you definitely don't want to see. Or at least, not getting the force, they're not getting anything with these. They just got to make sure they, spot more what's happening. Where the players on China Live are playing.
Yeah, definitely agree there. I mean, like I said earlier, it's really just about having that adaptability when you bomb in. If you don't see it, if there's like no way of getting the force, you gotta like be willing to settle for other things. And a lot of times, like once you start like you focus down one player that's kind of overextended, get that kill, then kind of mix up the resting panic a little bit. Then sometimes, a lot of times, that can turn into a force. Or at the very least, even if you don't get the force, at least you get you get some trades, you get some kills, you don't get forwarded. But yeah, just like wiping the sack wave, getting absolutely nothing out of it. Definitely not what you want.
Yeah, and even if you get even like just getting those kills aren't as bad as you think, because also you have the shorter spawn time when you don't have the point, which is when you're going to be doing those 4-man sacks. So even trading out for like trading kills, just getting any kills is important, because it means you'll have a big player ad for a few seconds at least when you inevitably refight. So even if you don't get the force, it can be really important to just get something, anything. But I don't know if I really favor PERUTECH's chances here, although we did say that last time. China Live had a big lead on the first round, and then PERUTECH slowly chipped away at it and eventually won. So it's definitely not impossible for China Live to win here, especially because even though China Live, I believe, still had like a minute left on the round timer or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty much dead even, if I remember right. About like 50 seconds. So, yeah, I mean, just really close game so far. Both these rounds coming down, to the wire. So, very, like I said, very closely contested finals. Even though PERUTECH has won both meetings, China Live very much in this.
Yeah, I am curious to see if there's any. I thought I maybe saw a repause. Maybe I'm losing my mind a little bit, so there might just be a connection issue. This might not even be a tactical timeout, but if it would have been a tactical timeout, I would have assumed that would have been China Live taking it if they lost the round. But they don't seem in that bad of a position. So if it is a tactical timeout, this definitely it makes sense that they're taking it if they're down 2. But if it is just a technical timeout where people are just trying to rejoin, then we should get going here shortly once everybody gets back on the server. But I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest. It could be either one at this point.
Yeah, this does seem a bit long for attack pause, so I do imagine this is more of a technical issue. I remember in chat earlier, one of the players was saying they're having a couple connection issues with the server. So quite possibly just sort of technical stuff. Yeah, like I said earlier, though, I mean, it looked like it was almost unlosable for China Live the last round. We're in such a great position, just 5% away from Uber, had the point, everything looked good, but then just that clutch bomb, just that one time they're not watching house, soldier bombs in, gets a nice 2 rockets on the theory Y, completely flips the script, and then PERUTECH makes a big comeback.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if I do, or excuse me, I am curious to look at these logs once the game actually gets to the next round. But anyways, we are going to unpause pretty quickly here. PERUTECH trying to pressure pretty quickly, just getting something going. But they're going to have to wait for their players to get here. And I'm assuming they're finally going to do some sort of 4-man sack, I would assume. Looks like that's what they want to do. Yep, here comes Gonzo with that aggressive bomb. But Theory Y is pretty safely tucked out in that left side. He does actually use, though. And that's going to be Tansiv going down as well. And with those players dead, that's 3 down on the side of, PERUTECH. They're going to get their players up eventually, but, since there's no deaths on the side of China Live, they're going to be able to forward hold, and this is going to be tough. Yeah. And, we're going to have a bit of pressure here from both soldiers in that, the right house, and Kudux gets a kill onto Gonzo, and they get the force onto PERUTECH. This is really bad for them. And it's just going to be that continuous overtime, so they're going to have to, recap the point. But, China Live is in a really good spot. Here comes the aggressive soldier bombs. Aiden gets the kill from Maf. John does go to the left side, but he doesn't really commit for anything and isn't able to get anything. And he is going to get cleaned up by Khalil in the end. PERUTECH is trying to stop the point, but they are unable to do so, and that is 1-1 in favor of China Live, or 1-1 not in favor of either team, but China Live won that round. And taking a quick peek at the logs, I can see what's happening here. It looks like Gonzo is going absolutely nuclear, but still, compared to Fuzzy, but it's still just not enough. And I really think it is going to be, I think it's going to be a back and forth game, honestly, despite what we might have initially thought.
Yep, obviously a much closer game already, considering last one was a 4-sweep for China Live. Excuse some of the technical difficulties there, disconnected from Discord. But we're back. No. Bomb coming in early from Khalil onto Alice, but not really much follow-up here. Red team China Live does take some space on the point, but just not really able to like do anything with that. It's just kind of can be one person bombing in, goes down, and then not gonna be able to do much. And oh, what the? Gonzo took down 3 wide. I didn't even see what happened there. It was just back onto some stickies, and then John, it's a nice direct onto Fortis. Can he get another? Does get the trade onto Aiden. All trying to get onto Alice, trying to get that force. But it's not going to happen. LS going to hold on to that Uber. Really good protection by PERUTECH there. And now the pendulum's starting to swing back in the favor of PERUTECH, at least on this mid.
Yeah, and that's definitely something they wanted, especially after losing that second round. But we are gonna, it's not gonna be like a huge advantage here for PERUTECH, because even though they do have that 40-second time advantage, oh, I was gonna say that, but oh, never mind. Actually, excuse me. Khalil and Aiden and Fuzzy are all gonna go down, but they are gonna get the force. With one soldier still spawning, that meant it was a little bit easier to break through that forward hold, and they smartly realized that the med was close. They are down a full minute now on that timer, and the soldiers on the side of PERUTECH are getting very healthy, and they're going to get some pretty aggressive spotting positions here to see, or at least Math is, to see where they want to push out of. But there's not really any hold on the other side, and China Live just walks right on through. They are down about a minute 15 seconds, but they do take this fairly quickly, and Math might be caught in this left house. He is going to back up. But, oh, aggressive bomb from John. Theory with a nice milk there, and that's going to be 6 versus 5 as China Live tries to now take the point, but there's only a 30% Uber ad for them now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, though, minute and a half off the clock, not the position you want to be in if you're China Live. Just trying to get this first cap finally. Do have 15% Uber, and that does kind of get popped out, but it looks like there's some hesitation. Or at least going to get Gonzo, it looks like, but maybe not even Gonzo, as looks like John able to juggle the scout away. Just, I don't really know what happened out there, maybe some miscommunication there, because it kind of just looked like they kind of used on really nothing there.
Yeah, very awkward. Now PERUTECH has that Uber, and they have a big time advantage still. They're trying to recap. They aren't able to get it. Alice getting a little confused. They're a little stuck on the barrel, I think. Is going to get forced eventually from the bomb from Fuzzy. Aiden is caught behind. He's going to go down late, which is going to cause a little bit of a delayed spawn, but not a huge deal. And there's a 50% Uber ad on the side of Quake Live. Or, excuse me, not Quake Live. Sorry, thinking about another team. The IM season. But on the side of, excuse me, China Live. They're already going to bust through quickly here on this left side, and they have that 60% Uber, but they're down a full minute and a half here, so this definitely is, I'd say, still favoring PERUTECH.
Yep. Theory does have the 40% ad, and Kudek's trying to extend that, going on to Alice there, and the Uber does come out. LS gonna live there. Gonzo spawned down, so they do get the recap, but this, kind of just like a little bit of back and forth recap. Just trading the point, not really what you want. China Live really needs to do more to really take control back as round, because they're at a massive 2-minute deficit right now and a Uber disadvantage. So looking like a very dire round on side of China Live, and very radiant for PERUTECH.
Yeah, and they are down still. That minute and a half is going to be huge, especially when PERUTECH has that 40% Uber ad. China Live has to do something probably drastic if they really want to win this round. Fortis actually eats a pipe from Gonzo, so I think that's just going to force them back. Aiden is going to get caught in this right house here, and that's not going to be good for China Live's chances here in this round. Joaquin does get low there, but is saved by the bow from Alice. And finally, Theory-wise is going to get Uber here, but it's 15 seconds left, and there's an aggressive Uber coming in from PERUTECH. This is actually really good for them because they're going to delay this, potentially even force it down to overtime. Maybe not. It looks like there's... Oh, actually, it could be. Because forcing it down to overtime just means that, if the enemy team... if that other team caps, yeah, so now if PERUTECH ever caps at all, they win the round, and they have 2 minutes to do so. There's going to be like an all-in attempt here, I think. They're only going to get 1 kill, but Alice is going to back up. Not safely to spawn, excuse me, he's just going to get caught by Kudeks.
So, actually, very big pick there. Now finally putting, China Live with that chance to, maybe make this a big comeback if they can do their own 2-minute comeback. Of course, it's going to be quite difficult to forward hold this. Khalil is going to be a late spawn, so PERUTECH might see that weakness and be able to just flood through the left, and they do flood through the left. but don't have any soldier bombing through to really make any space. No one else getting through the other doorways. Tansen finally does break through the bottom right. Not willing to commit though, and looks like PERUTECH, looks like maybe had a window, but are kind of just getting shredded in that doorway. Khalil does come. The reinforcements come. And that's going to be another continuous forward hold for China Live, and no kills traded by PERUTECH. So potentially big mistake. Ubers might even out soon, but I mean, China Live has done a great job of bleeding some time off this clock here.
Yeah, Khalil and Kudix with a very nice soldier pincer there. Low players on both sides. Alice catches, I think, like the remnants of the sticky trap there. Khalil did go for a bomb onto Gonzo. Picks do trade, and they actually favor the side of PERUTECH here because now PERUTECH has an additional soldier for their team, and Maf is already going to be flanking that house. Fortis and Theory White trying to stay alive on point as long as they can. They eventually get forced, but they're not going to get the force until really late on the side of Alice. That's going to mean a much better Uber for PERUTECH. John and Kudix were kind of fighting in this right house, but Fortis and Kudix go down, and now it's 2-1 on Bagel in favor of PERUTECH.
Yeah, I'd really just like to... I feel like a lot of that kind of precipitated off that bomb by Khalil right there. I really just don't like the bomb under the demo there when, it's 0 on the clock. You still have the Ubers to trade. I would really like to see them just kite back together, then just play for the trade. I'm getting a request in chat for the Banny side, so I'll look for an opportunity for that later on. But we're on to the next mid. PERUTECH leading a very close match 2-1. Oh, as I say that, Fuzz with a lock and load pipe onto Les. So that's going to be, big window, big Uber, and the 4-man comes, the all-in, 5-man even. Oh, but it's a nuke, taking down Fuzz and Khalil. Nonetheless, the most important person, Theory Y, is going to live there, and they're going to hold on to that Uber advantage.
Yeah, and Theory Y is very safe. He's done this every time, and PERUTECH hasn't really adapted, where he's just backed all the way into his own lobby area, and PERUTECH just keeps stacking into it. But they did at least get a couple of kills for their troubles, which means that Fuzzy is just getting here now, which should mean PERUTECH is going to be able to bust through the left side. They're actually going to split their team up and then get through both sides simultaneously. Theory Y takes a lot of early damage, so he's going to have to back up. He's looking for that pack already, which means no heals here to fight and stop the point for the side of China Live for a few seconds. There's a right house shove here for China Live, but PERUTECH able to lock that down for now. Although, as I say that, Fortress actually gets the kill onto Gonzo. Fuzzy gets a kill onto John, and now it's just, Maf going in for a bomb onto Theory is going to get the force, which is going to help PERUTECH here. They are only down about 40 seconds, but they are also going to have to break through this forward hold. They only have an 80% Uber ad, and they're down on time.
It's kind of like a late sack. It's kind of weird. I think maybe there's such a delayed time in China Live just didn't expect that single soldier to just kind of bomb around that corner there. But, we'll call it an interesting off-timing play, and it ended up working out, so can't criticize it, really. Fuzzy getting the nice pick on the Maf. Les kind of in the corner here. It's going to get forced out, but they do at least get Khalil. Even just getting one pick on this is going to be big. Oh, and Theory Y goes down. The Gonzo spawn with a bomb. Oh, and he gets another! With a lock and load onto Fortis. Big 2K from Gonzo spawn. Bombing in, getting the med with the lock, and then Fortis. Nonetheless, while that was all happening, I mean, a lot of time to burn off the clock, so still down about a minute and a half. Tansen got to be very careful here, taking a little 1v1 with Aiden, almost going down but living.
Yeah, it is still a big time advantage for the side of China Live, and there's not that strong of a hold, so they're already going to try to break through here, but Fortis and Kudix go down on the side of China Live. Fuzzy does get a kill. Khalil gets a kill onto Maf as well. That's 4v4. Gonzo gets flanked from Aiden in the right house. He's going to go down, though. It's now 3 versus 3. No scouts on the side of China Live, so I think they're just going to wait here, and they are down 20% Uber ad, but they do have about a minute time ad, so, PERUTECH has to really try to stop this, although since China Live did not have the point, they're going to have the faster spawners, and they're just going to have to give this up for now. As PERUTECH still does, or PERUTECH gives it up, and PERUTECH has that 20% Uber ad, 25% Uber ad, excuse me, so now they're going to work their way back in.
Oh, but the scout gets dropped on the Uber, Fuzz the lock and load, dropping Joaquin from the Uber. So it's not going to be that great on the side of PERUTECH. They do catch Aiden behind, but losing quite a few for that. I mean, overall, the trades aren't too bad normally, but when you're down this much time, it does make it kind of tricky.
Yeah, really unfortunate there, and they just getting forced and losing players in the Uber is so brutal. They finally do recap the point on the side of PERUTECH, but China Life has a 60% Uber at and more than a minute in advantage on time. Fortis already trying to recap that point. Pipe in the right house from Fuzzy onto Map is going to force Map back. Alice takes a lot of damage, actually. Tansum gets piped by Fuzzy. Oh my goodness, lots of pipe damage coming out from Fuzzy right now. And I think John just got piped again. Oh my goodness. And PERUTECH is going to have to just back up and get healed up. They're going to probably wait for their player before they repush, especially because they still don't have Uber either. But they are already trying to do a little bit of pressure, just trying to keep China Live on their toes, not really let them do anything. Oh my goodness, so much damage, and here comes the aggressive Uber from the side of PERUTECH, and the counter Uber comes in from China Live.
Yeah, it looked like something might happen there, but actually very peaceful Uber. No one really dying during that trade, just kind of can shake hands. PERUTECH does look like they're getting a lot of cap time here. Cleo coming out of the house, able to get some good shots, but not enough. And Aiden with a pinch onto the soldier. It's a lot of stuff getting trained back with Gonzo. Takes on Fuzz actually with the lock and load from across the map there. Cleo trying to hold down his house. It's a very scrappy fight, just lots of things happening. As Aiden now pushing the house along with Cleo. Cleo's still very low though, trying to help out, seeing what he can do. And, you know, PERUTECH does still have the point. China Live trying to recap, and now only 8 seconds left. PERUTECH does have to at least touch the cap to extend the round a little bit if they want to stay in this. But Theory Y also needs to get the pack here and not going to be in the fight for a little bit. So are going to give that away to PERUTECH, but they just need to recap one more time now. They got to be really careful because Theory Y about 10% disad. And oh, the Uber comes out. They might get punished for it. Theory Y getting pistol down. And then another one. Can Fortis got to stay alive here. Just kind of juking and jiving. Scout reloading.
Oh my
Fortis
goodness.
gets a nice 2-shot after the Uber. That's a good trade. So, I mean, not exactly what you want with Theory Y getting caught just once again just a few percent short of that Uber. Really heads up play by PERUTECH to notice that perhaps, and then kind of Uber check them, take down the med. But yeah, really good shots by Fortis to at least get that trade there. So it's gonna be a bit of a refight, just ground dry. This could be the one that wins it, and they're getting a lot of point time already. But the kill onto Aiden, and then Fuzzy going down also, just focusing too much on the point pressure, not playing for the fight enough actually. And everyone's going to go, and Theory Y is going to go down as well. It's a trickle, but at the same time, with these long spawns, I don't know if these trades are good because all China Live needs to do is wait a little bit longer. If they can roll out in time, then they aren't going to have John in this fight.
Yeah,
Oh, watch out for Aiden behind. Aiden coming a little bit early, gets the force.
Uber as well, though. Yeah, and they do get that force, but that is going to mean it's going to be hard to like take these fights here. And now Alice is on top of the point. China Live has to do something. Fuzzy does get a kill into Joaquin, and now it's just an absolute brawl on top of this point. The picks are pretty even right now, but now they're going to favor PERUTECH, I would say. Actually, it's very, very even. It's incredibly even, but Tansum is going to get that final kill onto Khalil. Now it's just Aiden versus a scout and a medic, and that's going to be PERUTECH taking this round and making it 3-1. Yeah, Fortis is not going to get here in time, neither is Fuzzy, and that's going to be 3-1 in favor of PERUTECH. Fortis is doing a really good job surviving there on point, got the time down to that overtime in the first place, but again, another blown lead from China Live.
Yeah, I mean, both times they lost really close rounds. One was like the first round, I believe, where they're 5% away from Uber as the bomb came from us, and then that one, getting Uber checked just 10% away. Because they had to go for the pack, just eating that one pill, where you had to go for pack, wasn't healing players, really changed how that round went. So, just shows that sometimes it's just the one small mistake that costs you so much there, especially when these teams are so close.
Yeah, we're into this next mid here. Both teams are pretty even for now, although as I say that Khalil gets pretty low, but is going to quickly get the pack. There's a bit of a soldier fight here in this other house. Kudix gets the kill onto John, and here comes another aggressive bomb from Khalil, getting a lot of space. There are low players on the side of China Live, but they're getting a lot of space, and they're in on Alice. Alice is very caught here. He is going to go down, and there's going to be a few trades there for the side of PERUTECH. Actually, just one, excuse me. And they're just going to have to back their way up. Theory Y is very safe. They do get a second kill onto Kudix dying late. And Theory Y is very safely tucked away in his own house. And let's see if PERUTECH is able to, you know, not go in too aggressively this time. Fuzzy gets a quick trap kill onto Joaquin. And there actually is an aggressive bomb from John already, but he's by himself, so it doesn't really get much. and 2-player advantage for the side of China Live, and full Uber and 30-second time advantage as, oh my goodness, Gonzo goes very low. He's going to live somehow. And PERUTECH in a really awkward spot here.
Yeah, absolutely. The, already burning a minute off the clock is, but again, just got to be really careful watching out for those close to Uber situations. That's what cost China Live in these, last couple rounds in this match. But looks like PERUTECH just going to wait to get this Uber, probably just play the trade from here. And, another good start to China Live, but can they hold on to it?
Yeah, I'm curious to see as there's going to be both teams having Uber here. Cupojo gets launched in and is going to go down, and that's going to help PERUTECH a lot. They're just going to be able to heal up and get through this other doorway. Hopefully for them, they don't get caught by these stickies. Tansom immediately eats a pipe, but with the rest of the support from his team, he's going to be able to break through. And now it's a 1-player ad for the side of PERUTECH, but here comes that aggressive Uber from China Live. The counter Uber does come in from PERUTECH, so PERUTECH has a slightly better Uber, and Joaquin tries to get a kill into Fuzzy, but gets a late flash right at the last second. Tansom gets a kill into Cupojo. Now it's a bit of a chaos fighting going on. Fortis and Khalil get kills, but Aiden goes down. Now 4 versus 4 with PERUTECH getting the cap, but Tansom is in on the flank, and Fuzzy absolutely destroys him with a pipe. Alice hitting a nice surf onto Khalil bombing and is going to back up and survive. But with the spawner advantage, I'm assuming China Live will refight this as soon as the players come back.
Yep, got a lot of time to make up. Of course, we have seen PERUTECH make these big comebacks before. So, able to kind of just chip away at this point, doing a nice job burning some time off. China Live just kind of chipping away as well, just trying to get that point time. No one really going down, but Fuzzy taking a lot of damage here. And the last also getting kind of low. Trade's going to come out, 3Y does have the Uber, so it's going to be another kind of just like 50-50. Not a whole lot going to come out of this Naden in the spawn queue right now, so it's going to be a little bit hard to play this post-fight.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty even for now, although Fortis gets that early kill into Joaquin, and now it's definitely favoring China Live. They do recap the point as well, and that's a second kill in favor of China Live, where Khalil got that kill on the other side, and PERUTECH is just going to have to back up. They did manage to bleed some of that time off the clock, but they're still down a full minute, so this is definitely favoring China Live here. But again, we seen that already 2 rounds in a row where PERUTECH came back from a big time deficit, so we'll see if they're able to do that again. Very low players on both teams, but neither team is going to get any of those picks. A lot of pressure in on the point for the side of PERUTECH. They are able to cap it. No kills going either way, but that's going to shortly end as Cupojo gets a kill onto John. And there's the the aggressive Uber from the side of PERUTECH. They do get the counter force, but I think Joaquin is caught. He is going to get caught, but he did get a lot of flashes, but being down 2 means that China Live is just going to recap this, and they're going to be working their way back in, and PERUTECH has to leave, and they only have 35 seconds left to break through.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like a great, Uber for Joaquin. It's just he got juggled away and got dropped because of it, so just really unlucky. And now China Live with a chance, make it 3-2. Oh, bomb coming in, big collapse, pinch onto this lower left area. Alessa's going to go down. A lot of damage, and Tansom and Math both very low here, but they lose a lot for it at the same time. Theory-Y able to hold on to the Uber, and as long as they, hold on, Theory-Y's Uber, as long as they can just get like a halfway decent Uber, just get something out of it, and they should be able to recap this and, make it 3-2, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, importantly, all they have to do is cap it one singular time because of that overtime. So they're already going to break through quickly, and they get that early kill onto Math with that Uber. That's going to make this incredibly difficult for PERUTECH to break through. I know we've seen them do it twice in a row this time, but this time I think is definitely going to be even more difficult. Tansom does get an early kill, and they actually use aggressively. They're not getting a single kill. They finally do get 2 because Gonzo lived for a while, but Khalil able to get 2 on the left side house. Aiden gets another kill. Joaquin, the final player to go down, and Math is not there in time. And that's 3-2, still in favor of PERUTECH, but China Live pulling it back, and this map could still go the way of either team, and the series is still tied up 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, like we said earlier, this is China Live's map, and there've been so many situations where they could have won 2 rounds. This map could already be over for China Live, but just great comebacks, great stuff happening on the side of PERUTECH to make these miracles, these big 1.5 to 2 minute comebacks happen. But yeah, like I said, anyone's map right now, really don't know who's going to win right now.
Neither team really doing anything too aggressive for now. Finally, some point pressure from the side of Fortis as soon as that point opened up. Theory Y gets pretty low. He's going to have to back up for a pack. Another scout, Joaquin, on the side of PERUTECH got pretty low. But neither team really getting any huge kills. The players who are low are just getting healed up really quickly. An aggressive Uber from the side of PERUTECH. They built a lot better, but Theory Y does some nice surfing. Joaquin is continuing to chase, but Theory Y got the pack. Joaquin is going to go down to Khalil, and that Uber is not going to get anything. And now Theory Y knows he has a nice big Uber out. Although PERUTECH did cap the point, but you know, being down a player, this is going to mean China Live is going to take it back very quickly, I would assume. Although, actually, PERUTECH's done a decent job of stalling them out for a bit of time, even though they're down Uber and they're down a player. But I would assume very shortly here, China Live is going to finally get that point. Here comes a bomb in from Math, but Theory Y is very safely tucked away. And Tansum going to get killed on this left house, taking a 1v1 with Kudex there. He's going to go down. John is in on the left house, is going to get a kill onto Aiden. And there's a few players on this left side here for PERUTECH who are maybe caught. John is actually caught in this house. Never mind, he gets that kill into Khalil, which is going to at least be a trade. And they did stall out quite a bit of time, but it's now kind of turned into an even situation again, I would say.
Yeah, just good, you know. Yeah, actually pretty much dead even right now. Equal time, equal Ubers. Oh, as I say that, skills tipping in favor of PERUTECH. Joaquin taking down Fuzzy there. Obviously, you know, demo pick cute on every map, but especially on Bagel. Just not really much you can do. And because everyone's just taking so much damage, Fortis going low, Theory Y going low, just Pups just a really... I was going to say Uber doesn't get anything, but Fortis lists are so long there, able to just kind of walk past everybody, get onto Lust, get some shots, and get that force. Kind of makes something out of nothing right there.
Yeah, and here comes, Khalil, already through this right side with the assistance of his team. Kudex gets a kill onto Gonzo, but Theory is going to crater with the help of multiple players on the side of PERUTECH. The kills are definitely favoring the side of China Live, but with Theory going down and that time advantage, PERUTECH is more than willing, they're more than happy to just back Alice up safely with Math, continue to build about a 45%, actually it's going to be like a 50% Uber advantage, maybe even more because nobody met with Theory. Yeah, about a 55% Uber advantage. And with them already being at 60% and them having like a 50-second time advantage, PERUTECH is very much happy to just recap the point and then start delaying this timer.
Yeah, I want to see China Live. I do like that they're showing some fight here. They're not just giving it up for free and just immediately going for the sack wave. They are forcing PERUTECH to really kind of fight for it a little bit, but it does look like they want to kind of get ready for it. I mean, now Les does have Uber, just now hit 100%, and here comes sack wave. So yeah, I like how they've played this. The bomb's coming in. Not really getting a whole lot out of it, though. They do get Gonzo's bomb, which is a big one. So at the very least... Oh, no! I say that, but I just say that. Kudex gets a huge bomb. Somehow living just a single soldier. Bombing up that staircase, getting the 2 rockets onto Les, and also taking down Math at the same time. How does that happen? And then John, looking for his own kind of sneaky single soldier bomb. He comes in, on Theory Y. It's the 2 rockets, but not enough. Just barely. Theory Y lives there. Had the element of surprise. Maybe if John with 5 ping gets that kill, I think, but John with 100 ping, unfortunately not.
Yeah, I think that little call out from Aiden just barely saved Theory. Here comes that aggressive foreman, but again, Theory is really safely tucked back in here on this left house. They finally do get a kill onto Fuzzy, and they get a kill onto Fortis, and a kill onto Aiden. This is a lot better for PERUTECH because they're even able to take the point here. They do delay their spawners, but, starting to still whittle down this time and force China Live back, and they're going to have to re-push and retake the point. Definitely a lot better of a sack there from PERUTECH. As China Live is going to start taking this space, they're going to have about a 20% Uber, but PERUTECH will quickly be building that back up. It's almost even, only a 10% disad now. China Live finally took the point, but they're still got a minute time disadvantage, and there's only 30 seconds on the timer for PERUTECH, so definitely advantageous for PERUTECH.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just all it takes is like one pick here to really just bust the game open and put this map to rest for PERUTECH. They just get one big pick, whether it's med force, demo kill, even a soldier kill would be enough. Just anything can happen, especially when you have these just all these pipes just kind of flying through the air. It looks like Uber does come out. It's going to be a trade, and it looks like we have a pause here.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I don't know if this was Uh-oh. Okay, well, I don't think that's gonna have happened. I'm not gonna say it because that might jinx it, but I hope this is just like a technical or a tactical pause and we're at that 3-3 thing, but this definitely could be either team's fight here. Like, both teams have a pretty even Uber. I think the Uber is slightly favoring PERUTECH here, but it's not like it's a huge advantage here. And this could definitely still be a one fight for China Live, especially when Fuzzy gets this pack, and maybe there will be a kill like Cuts getting a kill into John or something.
Yeah. Yep. We're gonna go with this will be a tactical pause on side of PERUTECH. So yeah, I'm imagining this predicting the future based on that. I imagine this is gonna be very intense final round coming up if I'm gonna make a prediction based on that. Yeah, I mean, M17, do you have any thoughts on, since it is, if you were the one taking the tactical pause here, what would you be saying to your team if you're PERUTECH?
I mean, there was one thing they did do good, which was they finally got a good sack wave out of their 4-man sack the most recent time. So they want to do those again. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the house pushes, or like the way that the soldiers have been doing the house pushes on the side of PERUTECH maybe just haven't been like very confident, or maybe not confident, they just haven't done like many. It doesn't feel like they're doing enough 2-person shoves, I would say, to maybe try to catch the soldiers on China Live. But then again, I don't think the soldiers are too caught because they're moving around a lot. So I don't know if there's anything in particular that I am curious. I'm not sure what they're going to be talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's another factor that as this night goes later and later. We've already had some pauses earlier. A little bit late start as is normal with TF2. Then of course another fairly extended tac pause here. Had some config issues, so it's already 12:30 on the East Coast right now. So at some point you gotta also wonder, does the how much fatigue is going to start playing a factor when we get to these later maps, if there is another map after this. Well, I guess there is another map after this since both teams have won. So, I mean, yeah, going on to map number 3/4, depending on how you count the upper bracket advantage map. Yeah, you got to wonder, like, how tired these people are. How many West Coast players are in here? Do we have any West Coasters on either of these teams?
I know Theory-wise is pretty much a West Coaster, but besides that, I maybe Joaquin, Alice, and Tansom are West Coast players, so that maybe would favor the side of PERUTECH a little bit, but not 100% sure. And then I think everybody else is pretty central from what I can see, or like East Coast. So I don't think there's going to be. Maybe I would slightly favor PERUTECH there, especially because you also have to keep in mind that not only are there many maps they have to play, but they also probably, I believe both teams played like an hour scrims beforehand. So you're gonna have played a lot of TF2 tonight. Up to 6 maps can be a lot. Once you start getting past those 4 maps in a night, it can start being a little bit exhausting. We might see some silly mistakes in the next maps. I don't think we'll see them for this map. I think we'll still see it be pretty normal and a pretty good last round. But yeah, when we get to the next map, I have a feeling we'll see an occasional silly mistake because of just the fatigue that comes in from just playing many maps back to back. As
we're back. Quickly. So trade's not a lot's gonna come out of that trade. It looks like still just gonna be some dancing on the point back and forth.
Yeah, and it's going to be PERUTECH retaking the point, even when they're down a player. That's pretty well done from them. Fuzzy is trying to get a lot of space in here. Is going to get that kill onto Joaquin, and that's 2 down for PERUTECH, meaning China Live just easily takes it. PERUTECH has to back out, and China Live is going to try to set up this forward hold, although the soldiers aren't really healthy in time, and smartly PERUTECH does not give them enough time to set up. They're just going to bust to this left side immediately and force China Live away, and it's still an even Uber situation here. Pretty even on the time, although Gonzo does take a lot of damage early. Does have to get healed up.
Plus, he's just standing on stickies, takes a lot of damage from it. Is going to live, though. And it's kind of just down to this fight right now, I think. Both teams have the Uber, and it comes out first from PERUTECH. Decent milk on the side of Theory Y, though. It's going to be a couple seconds better. Can't they get much out of it? Not a whole lot, really, but they're going to wind the clock down to 0 seconds. PERUTECH trying to get the recap. Force really low. Bomb onto 3Y. 3Y goes down. A lot of damage onto everyone on PERUTECH. And even though they get the med, everyone else gets cleaned up here. And that looks like a round for China Live. And yep, that's where the attack pauses. As we imagined, 3-3 going into the last round. Anything could happen right now. I mean, like I said, this is the China Live map, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them take it in the end. But, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, been such close rounds so far, you really can't make a prediction, I don't think. Could be anybody. It's anyone's game.
Wait, was this... Wait, it looked like China Live actually paused the game after they won the round. Maybe trying to, like drill it in or something? I'm not sure. That's what it looked like to me. Maybe I was wrong. But anyways, into this final mid of Bagel Map 2 here. Neither team really doing anything too crazy, although PERUTECH has gotten a lot of early cap time. But Fuzzy goes really low, is going to have to back up and catch the bow. So the health is, I was going to say slightly favoring PERUTECH, but China Live also got a ton of cap time. I think Fortis has been doing a really good job of getting a ton of cap time. And that's going to help them, you know, continue to have a slight advantage, I would say. Khalil does get the kill onto Map in the right house. Yeah, he is going to go down after the point is capped from China Live. It's a 5-on-5 here. Health is very even on both sides, although as I say that, Kudex gets a kill onto John on the left side. Tanzim does quickly trade that out, so it's now a 4-on-4. But the Scout, or excuse me, Map already respawned on the side of PERUTECH because they don't have the point.
And got to be really careful. Down even one soldier means you'll very likely when a house isn't being watched, and it makes it very easy for just someone to just spam from that house. And as you see that trade comes out, so I was gonna buy some time. Tanzim also went down, doing all of that. And Khalil not gonna be able to live there, just kind of stuck in front of the Uber. It's gonna go down, so that's gonna be a big pick. Taking down a soldier on this map, definitely what you want. Of course, with the point gap, it's actually gonna just spawn reduced by quite a bit, down 12 seconds. And now it's kind of just a 50-50 fight again.
Yeah, and there's an interesting fight here. There's a left house push from the side of PERUTECH, but they're not able to get the kill onto Kudex, living for a while, and Fortis coming in at the last second to save him. Math being kind of a little bit scared on this right house, I would maybe say, being a little bit worried about Aiden doing a solo flank scout shove. But anyways, we have still a bit of, you know, just back and forth spamming going on. It's going to be pretty much even now because, you know, both teams have about the same time left, and PERUTECH does have that point. But health very low on both teams. China Live now definitely having the health advantage, and they get Gonzo and Joaquin. Huge double kill there, and they get the point. That's going to force China Live back. They do also get the third kill onto John, and they get a fourth kill onto Map. That's going to be a huge one fight there for China Live, and now they not only have point, so they're going to get a little bit of a time advantage, but they're also going to have a nice forward hold set up. I would assume that they got their soldiers nice and healthy, so they're going to be able to delay even more.
Yeah, just going for the classic forward hold setup here. Math does able to get through. Tanzim also able to kind of get through. Not really all the way though. So as they say that, Joaquin takes down Kudex. Oh, nice lock and load from Theory, taking down Theory Y. The drop there. So I mean, forward hold looking big, but then you know 2 clutch kills right there, completely changing things. And Sackwave coming in, not able to get through us, not able to get anyone. So it's gonna be a wipe and completely flipping the script. PERUTECH, you know, down 40 seconds, but they should be able to even that out at, you know, at least, given the fact they have full Uber advantage here, board hold set up, and the point capture.
Yeah, that drop from 3Y is definitely going to be tough for China Live to swallow. They do still have a 30-second time advantage, so it's not completely over or anything, but Fortis is going to go down to that trap kill after Khalil got through. John is in on the other side, flanking, getting a ton of damage onto Theory Y. He's still alive back here. He does get this kill by Khalil, but no other kills come in on the side of PERUTECH, and actually they lose another to Fuzzy. And here comes an aggressive bomb from Kudex. He gets the trade kill onto Math, which is going to mean there's more continued aggression from China Live. Alice did get the pack. They are going to try to stop the point with their Uber, but they don't get to the point in time. Khalil is behind on the combo. This is going to be really awkward for PERUTECH. They are going to have to use. They might even lose some players here. They do get the pick onto Khalil, and they probably will get this pick onto Aiden here shortly. But now China Live has a big Uber advantage. China Live even gets a pick onto John, which is definitely going to help them. And with that 30-second time advantage and that Uber advantage, you know, even though PERUTECH has the point, this is definitely still pretty even. I'd say maybe even slightly favored for China Live, but we'll see how this plays out.
Gotta be really careful. The right side is completely open. Doesn't look like anyone in PERUTECH's going for the flank though. So yeah, looks like probably a bomb coming in. Yep, here's the sack wave. Demo gets forward quite deep, not able to get anything theory-wise. Once again, just kind of, as you said, tucked away really safely into this house. So really just getting nothing out of that sack wave. And once again, that's going to allow, when you get nothing, you get forward home. Once again, so gotta be very careful. But oh, Kadek's going for this 1v1 here. Gets a little bit of help from Aiden, but those are not the trades you want if you're China Live. So really bad overextension right there, and really good by PERUTECH punishing that.
Yeah, and the round is still very much even. Here's the Uber exchange from both teams. China Live's down 2 players, though, means they have to retreat. They have to back out of their own side. Khalil very low on this left side, is going to get picked off by Joaquin. No other kills going so far, but a huge bomb from John getting massive damage. Oh my goodness, Math with the assist, and that's an absolute wipe. Massive play from John and Math there, my goodness.
Well, yeah, that was absolutely vicious collapse right there. Post just kind of funneled themselves back into that house area, and yeah, that was a lot of damage numbers on the screen, I imagine, right there. So we got a dry fight coming in. Looks like China Live able to squeeze through this bottom right. Gotta watch out for John here. Good for low high, gonna jump out. And now it's just, yeah, once again, another really close round. Just comes down to whoever wins this next team fight, I think. A lot of point time. A little recap here. Codex goes down right as they capture, so that's actually really bad outside of China Live. And
but Gonzo just got a trap kill along with, he just had a sticky and Theory just got juggled and then he just gets killed, and now it's 5 seconds left and Math is able to get the kill into Khalil. There's only 2 left alive. China Live in a very bad desperation situation, and they're gonna lose this second map, and that's gonna mean PERUTECH is up 2-1, winning Bagel like they did in week 3, but not like they did in the upper bracket finals. And we're going on to process. Or not process, excuse me. Wait. Sunshine, excuse me.
Sunshine. It's the same thing. The well, but yeah, that was a little bit almost anticlimactic. Just Gonzo just gets a trap kill, then immediately gets another kill with a lock and load. Just big 2K to kind of put that one to bed. So look really sketchy for Suck. Looks like they might choke the 3-1 lead, but nonetheless, thanks to the heroics of Gonzo clutching up at the end there, PERUTECH will put that one to bed. Now, 1 map away from winning this grand finals and remaining undefeated all season.
Yeah, but if it's up to China Live, they definitely don't want to let this happen. This third map was kind of the pick of, PERUTECH, but there's only a few, there's only a few maps left at that point, so it's not like it's like a huge difference. I think both teams are going to be pretty comfortable on these remaining 2 maps, but I'm curious to see if there's any crazy strategies, or like now that we're in this the third map of play, and this is like probably their 5th map of playing tonight, or half of playing. I wonder if there's going to be any like mistakes that we might see that are like really noticeable.
Yeah, I mean, always true. Just when you play this many games, it starts to become kind of psychedelic. Everything just kind of starts blending together. I feel like it really gets hard to, especially for the East Coasters where it's already almost 1 o'clock. I'm not sure what these people's work situations are, if anyone's got to wake up early for work in the morning, but that's also a factor that if they're staying up later than they usually do, that could also definitely cause some strange things to happen as we go into this next map.
Yeah. Yeah, like we said, I think maybe PERUTECH has that advantage in terms of this, having the people stay up later, but it also is like, maybe you just understand that, I don't know, maybe you just have the extra, like, I don't know, that extra energy drink, or just that extra wave of energy, because this is grand finals, this is the season on the line. Only 1 map left, so you definitely, on the side of China Live, do not want to lose, and PERUTECH, you want to close this out, don't let them get to a 5th map.
Very, very close so far. And it's got to feel disappointing, though, if you're China Live. That's to come so close to winning so many of those rounds, and then to lose such a close map like that after fighting so hard. And then when it's your map pick, that's definitely got to we're really going to test their mental here to see if they're able to come back after that. What I mentioned be somewhat frustrating map loss right there.
Yeah, and since we saw both of these teams have multiple people go sniper, I wouldn't be surprised if we'll see a lot more sniper on Sunshine. And if we get to Metalworks, we'll probably see some sniper on Metalworks as well. But unlike on Bagel, where snipers, not that great, there's not really that many good angles. There are definitely some angles on Sunshine, maybe not as many as on Process, but definitely the sniper can still get stuff done, or especially like attacking last or something like that. But I mean, it's definitely fewer angles than on something like Process, but I wouldn't be surprised if we still see the sniper pulled out, especially because if teams make that mistake like we saw in Process, where China Live just did not realize the sniper was there and choke, and they lost their med for it. I wonder if we'll see more situations like that where the team just doesn't realize the sniper's there, or they just forget that they have to play to not be in the sniper sightline, especially your medic. So got to be careful about that.
Yeah, and we haven't really taken much of a look at the log, so let's take a quick look at that while we got a chance.
Yeah,
We got Tansem leading it with 42 frags on the lower DPM side, but able to get that big cleanup, shows he's shooting the right things. Same with Joaquin, also quite a good number of kills, 37 with a lot more DPM. So look at the demos. Gonzo Spawn going 22 and 22, not getting a ton of kills, but dropping a massive 400 DPM. Fuzzy, she also had a pretty good run, 350 DPM, getting 30 kills. Yeah, I mean, 42, 22, it's good. 37, 21, it's also good. But honestly, not really anyone's like going really that crazy. It's all like relatively close, I'd say. If there's any one big difference, the soldiers on the side of Quake Live actually got quite a few more kills. The soldiers on the side, PERUTECH. And if you actually look at the total kills, actually quite in favor of the China Live right here. So able to get the kills, able to win the fights, but just not able to convert that into quite enough round wins. Usually when you see a team up 16 kills, they're usually the one that wins, but not the case in this case. And as well as looking at another factor, blue team, PERUTECH got 6 more charges off. And again, on the flip side, I guess that is another sign that usually when one team's getting 6 more Ubers, that's usually what you want, and you're usually going to win off that. And I mean, it was quite close, but certainly is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I did have a few extra deaths. Did have more heals, but still a few extra deaths, which, having your med not alive is definitely, having your med dead means there's some situations where you just can't win fights. Looks like there's maybe a little bit, one player having a bit of a technical issue, so we'll be getting that sorted shortly and getting started soon. But besides that, sorry, I think we're maybe getting a little bit, oh, sorry, one quick second.
If we're gonna go for a quick break here, closed, I'm gonna give you a quick your Banny sigh. Oh, that's satisfactory. Anyway, off to a quick break.
And we are back onto map 3 or 4 of Sunshine. If PERUTECH win this map, they win main in Season 18. And if China Live win this map, we're going to that 5th final map of Metalworks. And we're going onto this first mid shortly here. John going for an early jump onto that bell tower. Not really going to commit for anything, so neither team really is going to do anything. Although, as I say that, Khalil goes in really aggressively, and so does Kudex, trying to get that kill onto Alice, but no dice there. Theory going to get caught in the other team's cafe. Fortis does get that trade kill, but now they're going to try to all in for Alice, but Alice is safely tucked away with the rest of his team. Fortis is still behind. I think Joaquin knows where Fortis is. They have 2 scouts and the medic staying behind, so they definitely know that he's behind. And that's a solid mid-win for PERUTECH, and they're already going to move their way towards second. And Fortis is going to try to do this 1v1 onto Math on the second point, and Math is definitely winning it for now.
Yeah, big advantage, big chance for PERUTECH to make a statement here, get on the board 1-0. Got a lot of momentum coming off that last map win. So R just plowing through this left side, able to milk it in quite a bit. No sniper to force out the Uber, and Fortis is still dead for a little bit, so no real off glasses to worry about. And Joaquin able to get a lot of point time, but gets dropped. But nonetheless, the soldier walks on to point, and Math just kind of caps it as the soldier, just the 1x. A lot of people going down at the end there, and then, yeah, it's going to be a swift 1-0. And then Les talking a little bit trash in chat, saying it looks like it's going to be a quick one. I'm not sure if I described the series at, almost 1 a.m. to be a quick one, but nonetheless, China Live is definitely showing a lot of fights so far. I don't think it's going to be quick. But that was a well-played last push on side of PERUTECH.
Yeah, Fuzzy now on the quickies. I don't think Fuzzy has been on the quickies this entire game, but I believe Fuzzy is now on those quickies. I mean, Fuzzy is now on the quickies, obviously. Health definitely favoring PERUTECH this mid, and Fortis is going to go down pretty early. Kudex goes for a bomb and is going to not get anything. He does actually get a kill onto John, along with Khalil getting a trade kill between Tantum and Math, but the kills are still favoring the side of China Live. It's just Theory and Fuzzy left alive, and Alice and Tantum tried to cut him off, but I think they went a little too slow. They didn't realize how fast they were, and I think that's going to allow Theory to escape out dungeon. It is going to allow him to escape. A little bit of miscoordination there from the side of PERUTECH, but they still won the mid, so they're definitely going to be happy with that, and they're already going to be getting some presence onto second. They have a lot of space on second, but Fuzzy is still here, and it looks like China Live will be fighting this.
Yeah, just a little bit slower to get into position to lock at that shutter. So good refight by China Live here, able to catch out Tantum, just together pinching. Only going to lose one though on the side of PERUTECH, so it's kind of just going to be kind of a probably stalemate situation. We'll see a China Live able to get a counter sack in, but both the doors kind of locked down, and then Laxson in his pretty position. So I think it's completely fine. If you don't see a good counter sack opportunity, okay to kind of just let that go, since if you don't really have a chance of forcing going down that one with the worst spawns, definitely does open up a lot of windows for the attacking team.
Yeah, that does also allow your demo to set up a nice solid traps and get an even stronger hold going. This time we have Tantum on Sniper in the Valley. I don't know if they spotted it. They might have spotted it, because the soldiers are pretty aggressive right now on China Live, so I think they spotted it. And Theory Y, I think, is pretty safely tucked away, but like, honestly, the sniper angles are naturally pretty safe for the medic. Normally, it's the other classes you have to worry about. As Tantum definitely is known now, he takes a shot, doesn't get anything onto Khalil, and so China Live are definitely aware of that, getting their soldiers buffed, and they're going to be ready to pressure. Although many players on the side of PERUTECH are here in Valley, China Live tries to have their soldiers do a bomb, but Gonzo has traps all over these walls to make sure that these soldiers can't just get in for free. Kudex going for another bomb, but just fading in, just trying to continuously distract, and not necessarily distract, but also just juggle the sniper. Charge shot from Tantum onto Fortis. That's going to be a big opening for the side of PERUTECH.
And another pick, Joaquin following up a little bit of pistol onto Khalil. Gonna take him down. It's gonna make a lot of space for the sniper for Tantum here. Make something else happen. Kudex does take down Math, but still that's a number advantage in favor of PERUTECH and Tantum. So not a whole lot of people left to pressure the sniper at the moment. So you do have some people spawning. Kudex rolling out, and just kind of the threat of the sniper's created so much space. Fuzzy gets taken down by the lock and load, and now it's gonna be an Uber trade, but with no demo for the post fight. That's gonna be pretty tough for China Live. And Theory Y getting chipped down, hit with a sticky and the follow-up. As I say that though, unless and Tansom gonna go down, big flank by Cutex, and lots of kills getting traded back and forth. Cleo gonna live here, hold down last, and with the slow cap time from John, not gonna be able to roll this on the last, but after a very vicious, bloody fight on 2, that's gonna be PERUTECH coming out with the second point.
And importantly to note, before anything like setup has happened, Tansom is already on spy. So this is pretty fast spy timing. I don't know if China Live would be aware of this. They're already building their Uber. They're getting that gun set up. But I don't know if they'll be ready for the Tansom spy. He's already gotten his way in through dungeon, and he's already in on last. And even if you don't get the, the drop onto the medic, still just getting the kill onto the medic is huge. He's already going to go for the decloak. There's a bit of distraction going on. They have no idea. In theory, he is going to get backstabbed by Tansom. Tansom is still dodging around. He actually lives. He's still alive, and a low HP soldier does eventually get a resub. But with Tansom being alive, this is definitely going to be very favorable for PERUTECH. Although Theory might spawn in time, which might help, and Cleo does finally get the kill onto Tansom. So I wonder if they're going to wait for Tansom to respawn on Scout. Just having that 6th player might help, but we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of would prefer to honestly, Tansom just died sooner, since would have made it easier, had a little bit more to work with. But I mean, it's still going to be pretty much full out regardless, so I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. I think this is waiting for Tansom to come back. Definitely a smart move here. As we get in position, we will still have very sizable ad. They got to be really careful if they're using this top right. They're not going to be on the side of the gun, so the gun might live for quite a while. And gun does a lot of damage to Gonzo as he's on flash, and it's going to take a little bit to take down. Get a little bit of point time to bring him close in Gonzo because he took all that damage. He's going to go down. So it's going to be quite a close fight. Don't have any other off glasses though. And Joaquin pressuring the point with a nice block by Cutex. A lot of point time. But yeah, I think once again, I'd honestly say at this point the most important, as we say, chase down onto the rest of the team. Unless also going to go down here, most likely, unless he can pull out a miracle. He can't. He's going to go down, yeah. But I think not going down, or not Ubering in on the side of the sentry gun, and then, just allowed to be alive that long, really just messed up their last push. So I think they need to spot a little bit more for that kind of thing. They had all the time in the world, of course, so I definitely think that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. We still have the sniper here on Tansom. Actually, never mind, as I say that, he swaps back off to Scout. I think he was maybe trying to snipe in forwards, but they were doing a little bit of miscommunication here. China Live coming quickly through the cafe side with their Uber ad, and they're actually just going to be able to milk because there's not really any crazy bombs, and PERUTECH just back all the way up. Fortis gets a kill onto Tansom. John is also in the back lines here trying to get a bomb onto Theory, but he's going to go down. That's 2 down for the side of PERUTECH. This is going to be very favorable for China Live. They're already going to work their way all the way in through left, taking so much space without using this Uber. There is only a 30% Uber ad, but they do get an early kill onto map, and that's going to make this very difficult. They should want to take an aggressive Uber here shortly. Oh, and they lose 2 scouts, and they lose Fuzzy, and they get forced. Oh, huge blunder there by China Live, and they're just going to have to back up.
Uber now 100% on side of PERUTECH, and they kind of slow down, back up a little bit, and they just, going to lose Theory wide because of that. So also a very delayed death. So this is so much Uber advantage. This is more than 100% Uber advantage, basically. So possibly a chance for, Peru to go last with it, but never mind. As I say that, Cleo does get air shot at the end, though, it looks like. Nonetheless, able to get the force, that's the important thing. And that's going to be pretty long spawn, so unfortunate if you're a PERUTECH fan, then not going to be able to go last to last with that. But very fortunate if you are a China Live fan, able to get that clutch force thanks to Khalil.
Actually, an interesting situation there. Aiden had spawned on Scout, and spawned on Sniper, and then and once the force happened, he had to run away. So PERUTECH, I don't know if they realized, but they just pressured off it, and they took a lot of space, got quite a few kills, although Khalil does get that kill onto John, so the kills are definitely favoring the side of China Live now, as PERUTECH are going to be backing their way up onto mid. The soldiers from China Live trying to chase these scouts with the medic, but actually they're just going to stay. They have this close Uber. The China Live recaps second, but here comes the aggressive double scout. They're going to go right on in, and they finally do get the Uber force there, and they are chasing very aggressively onto Theory. Khalil gets a kill onto Gonzo. The scouts have not gotten a single kill. They're finally going to kill Aiden, but Khalil is still behind, and he's going to get a bomb onto Alice. Alice is going to live. Cudex gets a kill onto Joaquin. It's now 3 versus 4, but China Life has Uber, so this is going to be
Well, watch
little
out for
bit awkward
Tansa
both
behind
teams.
here. Tansa able to get flanked. Does look like he's just going to back off, though. And I think given the kind of lack of setup and not having any soldiers right here, smart move on the side. Trying to ledge slow down just a little bit for them to catch up. Now pushing out here. You gotta be careful of John, though. John flanking on to last, going for the back cap, bringing some people back. Does get the trade, not a bad trade for PERUTECH. Uber does come out on side of China Live. Gonna force back Alus and the rest of PERUTECH. So not gonna get a whole lot out of it, or at least maybe gonna get the point. Probably gonna get the point. Cudex onto the med. Get some good rockets, but not enough. I'm gonna go down, and that's gonna be a failed push, it looks like. As I say that though, Aiden able to get Joaquin on the flank here. And that does buy enough space for them to at least recap. Gotta be really careful, they're really just spread out right now. And yeah, wise retreat backwards. I think just maybe going for a few too many individual plays, and the individual plays didn't work out. And now kind of just shoved back on the last with Uber Desad and one in the spawn queue.
Yeah, and Fortis tried to go NG, and then, you know, he realized, wait a minute, I don't have time to go. I don't have time to set up a gun. Gonzo is going to get a kill onto Aiden. Tanso gets a kill onto Cudex. Fuzzy gets 1 kill, but it is a 4v2, or 5v2, excuse me, and Fortis has no chance, and that's going to be a second round in favor of PERUTECH. Yeah, I think maybe there's a little bit of that, you know, fatigue happening for China Live here. They definitely want to, you know, try to refresh themselves. You know, wake up. You know, you can't lose this map, or else you lose the series.
Yep, and that means you lose the season. But yeah, I mean, kind of like you said, it does feel like maybe some just small mistakes. It looked like Aiden, after he died, walked out of spawn into a sticky trap on the last fight and just died immediately again. So not what we want to see, just those small mistakes adding up. But we're on to the next mid.
Yeah, it's a peek of the logs right now. Tansum is absolutely farming. Maf gets a kill onto Cudex. Aiden gets a trade kill onto Gonzo. John does get the kill onto Theory Y, though. And, excuse me, Alice is tucked away safely with, or he has both of his scouts right there with him. So the rest of the team of, China Live is going to try to collapse, so they're not going to get anything. Khalil is behind. So I think he's going to try to spawn camp demo Gonzo getting forward spawn here. And Gonzo does not realize, but he does get the resub just in the nick of time. And he even gets a scout to run back with him and is going to get that kill. Math already getting the early gun kill to not let Aiden have enough, you know, time to set up a strong gun. Aiden's going to rebuild the gun, but, you know, already breaking that gun early is really important. And that can make it harder for the enemy team to, you know, set up on last. And there is that sniper as well. On Fortis in that spawn, but it's going to be PERUTECH pushing it with their Uber ad.
Yeah, it does look like this time they know the center gun's on the left side. We'll see what they decide to do with that. Oh, but Fortis with a nice shot. Takes down Gonzo immediately, so that's going to be most likely a failed last push, unless they can really pull out some crazy DM right here. And it is 4-4. It is actually quite winnable. Tansum is pulling out the crazy DM, hitting some shots. More shots, and then Joaquin with a follow-up, jumps on the point. So it looked like, wow, I'd be very disappointed if I was Fortis hitting that great shot on the Gonzo spawn, but then just not enough to win the last fight, even picking that demo immediately. So just better DM it looked like from PERUTECH in that fight.
Yeah, that's so crazy how Fortis hit an insane shot, killing the demo, and they still lose the push, or the hold. That's really brutal for the side of China Live, but they still have 2 rounds to not lose. All they have to do is win this map, 1 map at a time for them. Here comes that double bomb onto Alice again. Alice with a very nice SERP, able to live at very low HP, but the soldiers on China Live did also live. Theory goes down to Fortis. Math gets 2 kills. Gonzo gets a kill into Khalil, and now it's just going to be, Alice running around with the scouts, and that's going to be a full wipe.
Yeah, I mean, also really great shots by Math on that mid. Just walking around with a sliver of health, ends up getting 3. And I mean, yeah, you can definitely tell this is PERUTECH's map pick because they look dominant right now. Up 3-0 with Uber advantage. And even making these some of these last pushes that just really had no right to work, somehow making them into round wins. So I mean, if they can make that last that last push work, then I'm convinced they can make pretty much any last push work.
Yeah, they have a 50% Uber. They definitely have time. Though this time there is a gun set up by Aiden, but it actually goes low pretty early. Khalil is getting chased as well. He is going to surf away. The gun does go down, but there's a lot of early cap time. The traps do go down, but Kutix does get that early pick onto Joaquin, which is going to help. But Math gets 2 in spawn. John and Kutix trade, but Math with those 2 kills in the spawn door and also living, I think, is going to secure his team the 4th round, 1 round away from winning this series and winning main season 18.
Yeah, Gonzo with a little katana kill for style right there. And yeah, I mean, this is just looking so dominant so far. And it just feels like, I don't know, even when the fights look close, just PERUTECH is just on fire right now. They're just hitting so many good shots, so many clean shots, that it just feels like even if it's a close fight, that they're just inevitable to come out ahead. Khalil takes down Gonzo's spawn though with a quick rollout. 4-on-4 as kills are traded back and forth. And yeah, there's some must win on the side. A China live, I think. Gotta be really careful not to get mid to last once again. And unless goes down, that will stop that. But it is still a pretty close fight at the moment. Tansom's still live. Tansom is on fire right now. Oh, Ford is on fire too. Nice 2-shot. And then, yeah, looks like it will be Fortis alive, just chasing down this last MAF. But the bomb comes in. John tries to sink the rocket onto Theory Y, but is going to go down nonetheless to Khalil, helping clean that up. Follow bomb coming from MAF. Nice little surf there by 3Y, staying alive, holding on to that Uber. And that'll be chance for China, trying to make a reverse sweep happen here. M17, I gotta ask you, have you updated your answer? Do you think Taiwan is a country?
I still have no comment, but I do want to talk about this Tansom disad spy. He's in Valley, and I wonder if this is going to change anything. Wait, I think Aiden saw... Okay, Aiden definitely saw him as on that mid. Aiden also just ran at the medic, but they know there's a spy there, so they just Uber in very quickly. They haven't even gotten the gun yet, though. They haven't gotten any picks. This is going to be a little awkward. Aiden does get that kill onto Tansom on spy, but there haven't been any more picks. The demo does go down for the side of, PERUTECH, and just the kills are eventually going to favor the side of China Live, and that's going to be their first round of this map. They still have a long way to go, but it is definitely not over yet.
Yeah, I mean, just really good fast roll by, I believe that was Khalil. Getting that early demo pick really changed that mid round, I think. And then some really nice shots by Fortis, able to just get clean meat shot after meat shot there. So, yep, still in it, and really good move to Uber in when they knew that they had Spy. Just taking advantage of them basically being down a player. Good job.
Yeah, it's still Tansom doing very, very well. Like, oh no, Theory turned around, takes a ton of damage. He was trying to bow his soldier, and then Khalil just goes down anyways, I think, because the bow didn't come out. But Kutix does get that kill into Alice, which is going to help China Live a lot. It's just going to be Theory Y and Fuzzy left alive. I think Theory Y is going to get caught, although there was a bit of a beef bomb from Math. But I think since Math's got the support of his teammates, I don't think Theory can live here. He does trade with Math, but is going to go down in the end. And so that's going to be an Uber ad for the side of PERUTECH once Alice inevitably spawns, and he is going to have a player with him to build.
It will be a little bit of advantage. It will be about 30%. Given that it kind of feels like PERUTECH's been building a little bit better through most of the series, so it might actually end up being a little bit larger, and actually 3-way not healing immediately off spawn. So it'll be about 25% ad. PERUTECH has been taking some pretty small Uber advantages. And it looks like I don't like the way China Live's positioned here. I mean, it's only like 20% ad. There's no reason to be this far back at this moment. They're kind of just giving them free space to walk in. I really don't like how they're playing this. And now PERUTECH does take that as a window to walk in. It looks like they do see that they're playing so far back. So just kind of giving this point for free for no reason. I really just think maybe just some miscommunication on how big the enemy's Uber advantage was, and that's going to end up just giving them that point for free, and maybe even giving a chance for PERUTECH to take this Uber into last. Do get juggled really badly here, and Theory-Y is going to get the Uber, I think. So does look like it'll probably be a good counter bomb, but there's so much point time onto the point. Got to be really careful, and Uber comes out in time to block it, drop a few players, but I think they'll get enough frags that I think they'll be all right, especially getting that demo there. But it was very sketchy there, and all kind of precipitated off of just giving up so much space on that second point when they didn't have to.
Yeah, and I think they don't even want to push, even though they had that demo advantage. I think they didn't want to push just because of so much cap time. They're just a little scared of it, and they're just going to set up on last. They do have, excuse me, I believe that's, yeah, that's Fortis just checking on those off classes, seeing if Tantum is going to swap to that sniper or just anybody in general, and is just going to back right onto Scout and start building that Uber. And we're in for this one final hold that PERUTECH has to break in order to win the season, and China Live is trying to make sure that this break does not happen, or this hold is not broken.
Yeah, and kind of what we saw earlier in the series is they seem just really, both teams kind of really slow to sack. But yeah, I mean, the as the series has gone on, like we said, the aggression has gone up, the confidence has gone up. It feels like PERUTECH is getting even more confident as the series progresses, and gotta be feeling really good now that they're just one round away from winning the season right now.
Yeah, they're deciding what they want to do. I think Math is looking for the sentry gun first. He is, but he is going to get absolutely spammed and then deleted by Fortis. Nice shot and spam there. It looks like Khalil was looking for something, but he's not going to be able to find anything so far. John is back into lobby, trying to flank Khalil and catch him out. And the rest of his team isn't really there to help him, so now he's stuck behind fighting this, fighting John here. He is going to go down. That's going to be a player down. That's going to be a little bit awkward for the side of China Live as Tantum. No, it's not Tantum, excuse me. It is Maf that has switched to Sniper. I don't think we've seen the Maf Sniper before, but now we are seeing it here.
Not a whole lot happening, just Gonzo spawn. Trying to take down this gun. Got that lock and load damage. Maf gonna take a little peek here. Doesn't get the first shot. They do know he's on Sniper now. Quite aware. Got 2 minutes left to work with. Maf does hit Khalil, so he's gonna open up space. Of course, kind of hard to get on the med here. We're going for this like under the bridge hold with the gun on the right cone spot. John does try to get in, but yeah, like I said, with that gun there, hard to get much, and it's just gonna get it floated into the corner and not gonna get a whole lot of that. So looking on the other side though, kind of just set up in a way that's really hard to get a counter sack in. Not a whole lot you can do here without making a real crazy miracle happen. So looks like we'll have Maf going for this different off class. Maybe actually just checking the off class, maybe. Wasn't really sure. So decides to go back to Soldier. And we still have Fortis on Spy. Is he checking off classes? What's he up to?
Yeah, it looks like he's checking off classes. He is still doing that. So he even checked for the heavy, which is interesting. Definitely a tech you can bring out here after you Uber Exchange have that heavy. But here comes that Uber Exchange, or maybe more just like a force from the side of PERUTECH. They finally get the counter Uber onto China Live. Khalil gets the first kill onto Gonzo, which this means it's probably going to be held for the side of China Live. I don't think they're going to want to push out off this. They're just going to be more than willing, I think, to reset back to mid because, you know, going to second in this situation is kind of awkward. But this does give PERUTECH another opportunity to refight as here comes the aggressive bomb from Maf. It doesn't get anything. And I think that's going to mean that there's nothing else. Maybe PERUTECH will try to do something, but it looks like they're just going to be willing to stalemate this out too, because they don't want to let the other team get an advantage on mid just for free. They are going to try to re-pressure this right side. John does get that sentry kill, and they already get some cap time early, so they do have a chance to hold, potentially win this. They get a ton of cap time, oh my goodness, but they actually all go down. And if, ooh, that's interesting, because now China Live has a massive Uber ad. If they potentially just hold off last here, they might even be able to work this into mid and get an advantage there. We'll see if that happens. Oh, it just stalemates.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like such a wasted opportunity. I really would have liked to see that demo just try to get onto the point and get that cap time. Because, I mean, it just gotta feel so bad to give up so much Uber advantage there with only one soldier alive. I'm not sure if he had enough health to go for it, but yeah, that's, I'd say that's a missed opportunity there.
Or at least having like your soldier go for it. Like you could potentially like leave a demo or like a scout on heavy there, and then like have your soldier just go get some of that point early. But I don't know.
Gross, run to the next mid. Oh, soldier almost gets juggled into Theory Y. Theory Y does manage to stay alive. Gotta be careful for Maf going behind. Maf hits a nice direct onto Fuzz. She's gonna go down. Maf still jumping around, trying to make space, trying to make some shenanigans happen. Still living for a while, finally gonna get taken down. But that is going to be enough space made to secure mid for PERUTECH here. Still looking to close the series out. Joaquin chasing deep, so deep. along with Gonzo's spawn, hits the lock and load onto CutX, getting a nice pick there, keep the momentum going. Like I said, PERUTECH playing really confident right now, but almost a little bit too confident, as we kind of saw in that last push. All just so desperate to get that point time, all just kind of partied on the point and got blown up by Cleo and Fuzzy right there. So it's good to play confident, but want to make sure they're not playing reckless here. Because Quake
Yeah,
Lives,
you
or
have-
China Live, still feeling very, still in this fight for sure.
Yeah, this time John back on that sniper. A lot of space taken from the side of PERUTECH. That's going to make this really awkward for China Live. They do get the first kill into Joaquin, but Khalil goes down. Tanzum and Gonzo also go down. Big shove on the flank there, and the sniper John is really low as well. I think that's going to cause, yeah, that is going to let China Live push out here. Maf gets caught in dungeon, so it's just John and Alice at the choke here, but John and Alice are going to quickly back up. Do they know about CutX going for a quick play? He does get spotted, so it doesn't matter. He just backs up. And we're going back onto second here. They are down a player and at a sniper, so you could potentially still look for something, but I think because their players, China Live's players, are still spawning and, you know, one round away from losing, I think they decided we're not going to go for anything crazy. Well, as I say that, Cleo does an aggressive bomb into Valley. He is going to live, but like most of the team of, PERUTECH are in Valley here, trying to allow John to peek with the sniper.
You've got to be just very careful. I'd like to see them kind of pressure the flank here, see if they can pressure the people in the other doors. Oh, and Wagonzo spawn with a nice trap, baiting in that bomb from Khalil, and then taking him down. And looks like we'll have John kind of sliding in, getting some more pressure. CutX gets a nice pick onto Maf right here. So I'd really like to see PERUTECH continue rolling this on, not to stack too long, try to take advantage of the fact that Khalil's still down for a little bit. He will spawn up, so... But still got the sniper, still got a lot to work with here. Got 4 minutes on the clock, all they need is one more round to put the season away.
Yeah, I think that sniper just gave them enough space to really work, you know, into this next situation. John is going to continue to peek this top right, get some damage onto Fuzzy. Nothing here for now. Is going to surf his way out. Nothing crazy, and he's going to just decide to change directions, or change sides that he's going to be peeking. And this time we get Fortis on the other side sniping. Math very low is going to get out. Tanzum gets a kill onto Khalil, actually. And that's going to be pretty difficult for the side of China Live to hold, especially because they only have a level 1 gun, which is going to go down. Tanzum gets another kill onto Aiden, and they do get forced here by CutX, but CutX going down is going to be really brutal. There's only 3 left alive on the side of China Live. They have a heavy and a demo, cannot really chase any picks with that. And so PERUTECH is going to recollapse in on this point, trying to stop this. This is going to be difficult for China Live. Maybe they'll get a spawner in time, but they are not going to, and that's going to be 5-1 on this final map in favor of PERUTECH, and PERUTECH are going to be your Season 18 main 6s winners.
Yeah, finishing that, not just the main winners, but also going undefeated. That'll be a perfect, I believe, 19-0 for PERUTECH. Just like our producer, Mr. siyo, winning Season 2 of RGL main, undefeated, along with the Demon King. And now PERUTECH will join their ranks. That'll be your champions, Aless, Tanzum, Gonzo, Maf, and 2 people who have left the server, and I forgot the name immediately, because, yeah. Yeah,
John
Joaquin,
and
of course.
Joaquin,
John and
yeah.
Joaquin. How could I forget John, such a unique name? Yeah, oh my god, looking at these logs, yeah. Tanzum, putting up, 29 and 12, really only taking 149 DPM, or damage taken per minute, so also just avoiding a lot of the damage while dealing a lot himself. That's, that's actually pretty even. Theory Y, in spite of the loss, did a pretty good job staying alive. Even got 2 kills of himself. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it looked like a pretty competitive game towards the last couple rounds. It's just PERUTECH came out of the gate with such momentum, going mid to last 3 times in a row. It's really hard to come back when you put down 3-0, 4-0 so quickly like that. That it kind of just feels like PERUTECH hit them before China Live really woke up for this map. But not to be not really too surprising. I mean, after all, is their map pick, PERUTECH's map pick. But yeah, I think that'll about wrap it up for this season of RGL main. We do have some advanced still going on right now. M17, any final thoughts before we swing it back over to Fireside 1?
Nothing from me. Thanks, of course, to Siyo for producing, and thanks to everyone for watching this game. That game is a little bit of an upset currently, so but it's definitely not over. There's still, potentially a round left, so we'll see what happens over there. But thanks all for watching, and I know AM, I believe, amateurs still has their finals, so we might be able to see that shortly, or I think tomorrow, I believe, or maybe it's like next Wednesday. I don't remember exactly, but we'll see what that happens. But anyways, thank you all for watching tonight.